Well, that's a step in the right direction.
Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas from the Box Office Brawler family. We are very pleased to invite you to join us in a very lively discussion of a Christmas classic, White Christmas, 1954, 71 years old, people. It's crazy that this movie is that old. This was, of course, this is it is the title that every person's grandparents reference, and they all say you have to watch it. Watch White Christmas, watch White Christmas. And you look up clips and you see people dancing jollily and bright colors, girls and guys romance, and you're thinking, I don't know, this doesn't really look like my thing. I mean, here we are, we're a couple 20-year-old dudes, but man, I gotta tell you, this movie is special, really special. And I know I had the pleasure of watching this for the first time recently. You said you've seen this before, right, Luke?
Yeah, correct. In the theaters.
Okay, you've seen it before in theaters. I got to see it in theaters just a week ago, and my gosh, this is really special. And I've been really looking forward to talking about this all week, and it's kind of stuck in my head. I don't know why. I am utterly obsessed with this, truly, and I have no idea why. It's that special. So, and I was surprised by how much I was able to break down here. We have a lot to talk about, people. Kind of just, we're taking it easy today. This is sort of a comfort conversation about, lively Christmas conversation, right? And there's a lot to be said about this movie. It doesn't seem like it's that deep, but, they are able to tell a lot of story, even through these simple song and dance numbers. So really excited to hear what everybody has to say today. But, it's not just Luke and I, as always. We have a great panel of fans and first that are joining us. So let's not waste any time, and let's bring on all of our friends here, starting with World War Joe, Cam the Movie Man, and for her debut, Megan the Texan. Good to see you all. Thanks for joining us.
How's it going, everyone?
Always a pleasure. Megan, this is your first time here. We've always appreciated your antics in the chat, so it's good to have you on. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. It's fun to be in the chat, but it's cool to be live.
You cause a stir sometimes because you're not a big fan of some of our takes. This could get controversial.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Wilkie's going to be joining us later, so he's just going to kind of pop in. But first off, was this anybody's first time watching White Christmas here? Wow. Megan, your first time.
That's I watched it last night.
Okay. Yeah. All right, good. Nice and fresh. Awesome.
Yes.
Well, before we get into first impressions and reactions, because I think we're all pretty fresh to it, really, because I just watched this for the first time. I just want to briefly tell everybody what the story even is. Obviously, 1954, this is an old school film, but, it's so funny how movies this old can look so good. It really boggles my mind. One of my favorite movies of all time is Lawrence of Arabia. And that movie, what is it, 1962? And it looks better than the new movies we get today. I really don't understand how they were able to film these so beautifully back then. But, it might be part of the restoration process. I imagine that's a factor. But, White Christmas, it's a different story than what I expected. We follow two World War II buddies, Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby, both famous classical singers, of course. They've made many Christmas classics you've heard over and over again that you've grown to fall in love with. And they are two entertainers who team up with a sister act that head to a log cabin in Vermont for the holidays. And it's sort of an unlikely romance story between these two different entertainment groups. And they did not really they had no idea what they were getting themselves into going to this Vermont lodge. Bing Crosby's character, he's sort of the serious stoic producer. He's the business guy. He's about the numbers. And Danny Kaye's character, Phil Davis, he's the happiness guy. He's the one that tries to, see the forest for the trees. And a lot of the time throughout the movie, he's trying to get Bing Crosby out of his shell because he's so focused on work. So when these two beautiful sisters come into their lives, there's a lot of egging on trying to make some romance happen. And obviously, as everybody knows that's seen the movie, that happens. It takes a lot, though. It's a painstaking quest to make that happen. But when they go to this Vermont inn, they're surprised to see that it's their old General Waverly who is running the joint. This is both of these guys, they don't act like they'd be jaded veterans at all. this is definitely an interesting tale on, military camaraderie here. But they knew General Waverly from back in the war, and he was a special case of leadership where he was really compassionate about his soldiers beyond what we see from other leadership of the time. And he embraced the arts, he embraced the fun they had in the wake of pain and destruction. So when they saw him here running this failing inn in Vermont, this is a place that is a Christmas attraction for being snow. You want to go to the forests of Vermont for skiing and all of that, and there's no snow. There hasn't been snow here for a long time, so it's failing. General Waverly, he's a beloved character, beloved leader in their lives. He is depressed because of all this. It's sort of a bit of a loss, and he wants to re-enlist to get back involved with the institution that he's passionate about, but he's denied that privilege. So Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby, along with the sisters, they plan this elaborate setup to bring business back to the inn while also performing a beautiful conjunction of entertainment acts for the Christmas season. So it's really a lot going on here, but it's so smoothly delivered throughout its, I don't know. It feels, I don't even know what the runtime of this is because it just
2 hours.
runs so smoothly, right? It's 2 hours. Yeah, it goes like a blink of time. It's crazy. But yeah, definitely a really special film. We're going to, first off, we're just going to be talking about general ideas and thoughts about the movie. And then I'm going to be going into like piece by piece, beginning to end. But, because this is a lot of our first time watching the movie, and for those of you who've seen it before, why don't you tell us about your first impressions watching this? And maybe if you could tell us like an anecdote of the first time you saw it and if it had some sort of impact on you.
So when I saw this in theaters several months ago, it just hit me all at once. I mean, the colors in this movie was, amazing. There was so much color for a 1950s film. It was such a feel-good movie. Had its comedy, had its romance, drama, and the dancing. I was talking about this backstage. It was remarkable. It was amazing. What would you say? World War Joe. There was a older musical that was
Seven Brides. Seven Brides for Seven Husbands, I think it's called.
Anyway, yeah, there we go. Besides that, I mean, the dancing in this was remarkable. The choreograph, I'm trying to say it's late. It was amazing.
You said it right, choreography.
Yeah.
Or cinematography. It's easy to get.
I know. It was like, it was not just that, but it was the cinematography. It was just amazing. There's so much going on too, and you never got bored of it. It was like the dance, and then there was the drama and like the main scenes, and it was good. And seeing that in theaters, like I said, was just amazing. It was just hit me all at once, and ever since I enjoyed this film.
I think that's like something I noticed watching this. I think I've seen it 3 times now in like a week. I don't know. I'm going crazy over here. It's so weird. I got Christmas fever. But I think you're right. There is so much motion in those dance numbers because, I think of like song and dance, and that's not something, me, a 23-year-old guy, should be into. But I don't know. It's like there's so much story, and there's like, a lot of these song and dance numbers, they happen in between kind of pivotal moments in the movie. So I kind of thought those moments sort of drove the emotional tone that those more serious moments were first exhibiting. So like it just hit us during a lot of these important times, and it carried it, right? It carried the emotion to be set later on, and for being dancing and everything, there's just so much motion. It's like it never stops, and somehow it works. So what about you guys?
Quite simply, it's just like the meme. He slaps car hood. They don't make them like this anymore. From the hand-drawn scenes. At one point, because I was watching a rewatch of this, I was counting the amount of camera cuts in certain scenes of it. There's not many. These guys, they do so many things in one take. And like the scene where they're talking about doing an act, they're throwing shoes at each other, taking off their ties and stuff. There's like 3 camera cuts in that whole scene. They were just doing everything back then. They were singing, they were dancing. I brought this question up backstage. If they were to redo this today, I don't think there's a single person in Hollywood that can sing, act, and dance like these guys. There's no one that could do it.
What about Zendaya? Could she do it?
They'll try to do Zendaya, but it ain't gonna work.
No. Nice. Oh crap! Wilkie says the link isn't working for him. Sorry, Megan, what were you going to say?
Oh no, I don't like Zendaya, so no, I could definitely not see her doing this. Not a huge fan. Her acting kind of sucks, but
You're right.
but I like.
said that.
Thanks. But this movie was good. It gets you why it's a classic. First time I watched it was last night, and the set design was gorgeous. I really like the set design. Me and my husband just kept laughing because they kept raving about snow. Vermont has snow, and just being from the Midwest is just like, oh my gosh, enough with the snow. It's not that great.
Nice.
But yeah, it was good. I definitely felt like Ben Crosby. His singing was amazing. His acting, like, not so much. You could tell he's not really an act. Well, for me, I didn't feel like he was. If it was between actor or singer, I could see him more so a singer than an actor.
Well, that's
Everyone
for
else
sure.
was pretty good. Yeah.
That's interesting. You noticed a flaw there because I don't know. I guess that didn't smack me in the face, but I guess maybe if I looked at it a little closer. Huh?
Ooh,
What did you like about it?
Well, okay, one of the things, I know we'll get to it eventually, but did you guys notice that Vera Allen, or she plays Judy, she looks in the camera so many times.
Oh, really?
So many. She looks right in the camera. And that's what threw me off every time.
Oh, you didn't like that?
It takes me out of it.
Did they do everything in one, like, in shorter amounts of like retakes back then? You think they were? I mean, how much money did they actually have for something like that? They probably couldn't do it that many times. So it was like, she looked there. Maybe 70 years, someone might notice it on a live stream, but
Yeah, but I feel like it's whenever she's dancing, specifically, she's looking right into the camera. She does turns and then she looks right in the camera. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I don't know how actors are even able to avoid that at any point in time. Like, it's crazy, you know? I mean, that camera, a lot of the time, just right in their face, too. I don't know how they don't just look straight at it. I mean, the lens is enormous. So, real quick, we have a few people backstage. Cam keeps jumping in and out. So sorry we're boring you. So sorry.
Oh, sorry, my
You're not falling
internet's
asleep over
being
there.
really super choppy
I'm
right
just messing
now.
with you. You're cool. Wilkie's here, too. There he is.
Hey,
everybody.
Corey.
I made sure to wear my 70s couch shirt tonight for
Nice.
this.
No
So.
Christmas
Nice.
outfit?
No, I wanted to do the 70s or the 70s couch shirt. So sorry, thank you very much for letting me jump on late. So sorry.
Very cool. You know, your shirt looks like the carpet in The Shining.
Oh,
Yeah.
It just needs more orange. And
Yeah. Nice. You know, when I was thinking about doing White Christmas, the first name that popped in my head was Wilkie. I said, I need to have Wilkie for this. I don't know why.
Since I'm looking more like Santa Claus each day, or like
always thought when it came out.
It's just, I don't know. Jolly, comforting, warm.
I do have a lot more white and gray coming in the beard, so yeah.
Embrace it, Wilkie. Embrace it.
Just go with it. So.
Yeah, pleasure having you on. Can you remember your first impression of White Christmas when you saw it for the first time, or if this was the first time you've seen it?
This was my first time watching it. I did own it. Now I can officially say this is one I own and I have watched.
Nice.
And I always like joke that I should make T-shirts that I have a quote that says, I own it, but I haven't seen it yet, you know. But I do have the 70th anniversary 4K of that.
Oh, crap.
So finally got to watch that. And I will say it looked absolutely beautiful in 4K. The colors that they have in there just popped on the screen. So it looked very good. So my first impression is just nostalgia. That's some stuff I remember watching growing up with my grandparents and my parents. And yeah, it kind of took me back to that. And yeah, it made me feel like Christmas time. So
Yeah. Man, I can't believe this is your first time seeing it too. That's
I know,
awesome.
it really was.
Took a long time, huh, Wilkie?
Whew. Yeah, since I was born right after the movie came out, I was like, I better get watching this one. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice. I'm like, are you sure about that? I don't think so. That's an old Wilkie. No. Here, let's say hi to everybody in the chat real quick. Thank you all for joining us here today. This is not traditional. Usually we're talking about, you know, gory action films, horror films, whatever else. And here we are, White Christmas, very elegant, delicate film. So yes, thank you all for joining. Totally different topic here.
But it's definitely an iconic one because I think it's like one, even if you haven't seen it, you've heard of it. I mean, or the music from it. Like, I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas. I mean, man, if you haven't heard that one on a radio station during Christmas time at some point, I don't know. But.
I think it's so crazy how so many classics linked to this movie, you know? And you have two of the legendary, singers of that time, Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby together. It's like, man, it doesn't get better than that.
I always think Danny Kaye is funny. He when he gets in things, he's always like that comic relief. If you watch any others that he's in, great dancer. Like you were talking about before I got on here, the singing and dancing like that, they were all very, very good at it. All four of them that are in this, but Danny Kaye always seems to be like the little slapstick kind of add a little humor and some fun to the movie. But yeah, he definitely did it with this one too.
That's needed. Him and Bing Crosby, they bounce off each other so
Oh
well.
yeah,
so
yeah.
different,
Well, it's like those buddy cop movies. You got to have the straight laced one and then the screwball one, But
yeah, it works well. Proctfile, our friend Proctfile is here. Starting it early again, are we? Well, thank goodness. I was putting together a last minute gift for a friend, but finished well before your start time. Yes, sir. I thought we'd start early. I've already seen this a few times, so yeah, wasted no time. We're back.
he heard I was going to be late, so he started early.
That's right. I wanted to
That's more time without. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Nice. Good one. Oh, Cass Styles is here. Good to see you. Let's see. Miss with a hiss. OMG, I'm so old. If you're watching it for the first time, yeah. Hey, Wilkie seeing it for the first time.
I was gonna say, yeah, and he's old. Why are you laughing, Megan? Don't laugh at. No, I'm joking. I'm joking, but that was
Megan
funny.
and Wilkie are in the same bracket, right?
No, I'm way older. No, I'm way older than Megan. I'm way older than Megan. No, I have to be. I have to be. I'll just say that. I'm way older than you. We'll just go with that. Either way. But yeah, that was great. I love that. Well, Corey's old. He hasn't seen it yet.
I'm just saying, like, obviously we're 20,
Yeah. Oh no, I love it. Dig away. All my friends that don't dig at me anymore, I kind of wonder what happened. I'm like, did I make you mad? You're not making fun of me anymore. So like, let's go.
Right. You're being too nice.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying not to. I got to hang out with you more, Megan.
You got to.
No, I'm
just She
I'm
gets
joking.
crazy in the chat, Wilkie.
I know.
Man,
really
she's
fun.
always starting.
But
fires.
I love it.
Yeah, real quick. Proctfile made a correction, and he's right. Choreography is movement. Think dancing or fight scenes. Cinematography is more visual arrangement and camera work. And both
smart man,
those words,
Procto.
they just, those are the two words that this movie, two forms of art that are just perfect in this movie. Both of them. It's crazy. Like, you just wouldn't think that dancing, like, really, come on. We're a bunch of young 20-year-old guys, or mostly dudes here. Well, we're not supposed to like dancing, right? We're not supposed to think that's cool or that's interesting. We're not supposed to get sucked into that. But here we are. I could safe to say we all loved it. How on earth did that happen?
Well, there's a lot of movies at that time where the singing and dancing that came in a lot, and I think they did a great job with it too. Like, so, you think of this, and I don't know why, but just off the top of my head, like Singing in the Rain, or like there's other classics like that they're very talented actors and actresses that they had in this, that they were acting, they were singing, they were dancing, they were doing everything, but they would set the movies up to have these big scenes where, okay, you're going to break into a song and dance for a little while, kind of a thing. But it was a great show. They did a good job with it.
I think it's interesting how they have like a few characters that do it way more than the others. Like Vera Ellen or Allen, her character Judy, like clearly she's the dancer of the two sisters. And then Danny Kaye, clearly he's the dancer of the two guys. And I like that they just kind of like, who's who. And, obviously we get most of the dramatic moments between Bing Crosby and Rosemary Clooney's character, because that's what they do best, I guess, out of the talents here.
So whether you knew it or not, Rosemary Clooney,
That's her aunt.
Yeah,
that's George Clooney's aunt.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do
He
you
was
think
born 7
she
years
looks
later.
like him?
What's that?
Do you think they look alike?
I thought so.
Yeah, they got
I have a
some.
picture.
Mainly because it was just in my head already. I don't know.
I see it.
I mean, I can't tell. I can see it actually.
But
I
yeah,
can't tell
that's
if it's
George
just,
Clooney's aunt. And he actually has a lot of really cool interviews, if you look it up, where he gives so much credit to her giving him advice, breaking into the industry, because she was, on films like this, and but he had a lot of nice, really kind things to say about her giving him advice and how to go into things. So, but yeah, I always thought that was kind of cool. Like that was something I'd learned way later, but I was like, oh, that's George Clooney's hand. So
I feel like if you didn't know it, then if you looked at her, you'd be like, okay, she looks familiar. Why does she look so familiar?
Is that Marilyn Monroe?
No, yeah. No, but and then also the other funny thing. So the two of them right here on the picture right now, they're kind of hooking up in this. They're 25. They're, like in this at this time, they're 25 or 26 years old apart, 2 years apart.
Man.
He's like 51 or something here, and she's like 26.
I thought you were gonna say they were both 25. I'm like, what? The
No.
It was really different back then.
But I thought that was funny when I was like looking up some things. I was like, but the other two, Danny Allen and Vera Allen, they were almost the same age. I can't remember the ages, but they were very close to each other. But these two, they were about 20, almost 20, a quarter century apart from each other. And I'm like, that's maybe stretching it a little
I don't
bit,
even like think of that. Like when the movie was showing, that didn't bother me. Like, and it didn't really hit me. Maybe it's because like the movie.
She does look
like,
a lot younger than
looks,
him, though. Look at that.
like their faces and everything are so like they're like kind of clear and kind of ageless. I feel like old movies, they don't show age as well unless someone's like really old and wrinkly and then they look like 100.
I will say I always get hooked up on like the old classic cinema. Like I think she looks just classic Hollywood there. I don't know, like her cinema. Like she looks classy. I don't know. She looks like a movie star, you know, from the 40s. Obviously she was, but anyway, I really liked her in this movie. So
I know. I really, man, those two actresses were just really great. I think I ended up liking them the most. Really, I loved Rosemary Clooney's story, even though, of course, well, we'll get to it. But that, you know, the bump in the road that caused so much trouble later in the movie.
You always got to get that. You have to have that in the story, right? You got to the misunderstanding.
I want happy from start to finish. No quarrels. Can we just, you know, this is too realistic for me. Like this is life. You know, can we just exit life? Can we be a complete fantasy where there's no issues at all and everything's just happy Wonderland? No, but real quick, let me say hi to our friend MMA Crease King Jr. Good to see you, man. I thought of you earlier, actually. What's up, Bob? White Christmas, Bling Crosby. Such a good voice for Christmas and throughout his whole entire career. Oh, yeah, man. I like Bling Crosby. That's probably a mistype, but yeah, he was definitely bling in this.
Well, he's got some bling in that picture right
yeah,
there.
Look at this. He's blinging up right here. Absolutely. But yeah, Bing Crosby, my gosh, he's awesome. He's, you know, all those old classic movies or classic songs, you know, for Christmas. I mean, that's him. He's helming all of them. So it's really special. It was a privilege to see him on screen. This was my first time I've seen either of them, you know, in actual like physical form. And I thought they did a great job, you know, and they have, you make a great point. There's like this lost look and it's really hard to put your finger on it, why they look the way they do, because that style is completely gone. I think it's funny because, you know, you think of like the older people in your life, like your grandma, great grandma, whatever else, and they all still look like a really old version of that style. But other than that, we don't see any young people with that look. And it's kind of an indescribable look. And I don't exactly know what it is. It might be the hair.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that's like classic Hollywood, me being the old guy here, but I think she looks like classic Hollywood right there. I like, honestly, like, I think she looks like a movie star. Like, I don't know. Very classy. And like I said, she's very talented. The four of them, between the singing and the dancing, I couldn't do a quarter of what they were doing. So it was fun to watch.
I think it's like, you know, I think part of why you get so sucked into all these dance moments too is like you said, Joe, that these are like single takes most of the time. And I mean, when that happens, you know, I think our brains kind of take a break when it cuts. I think we recognize that even if it doesn't like impact us live while we're watching. I think our brain knows when that happens and we might like hit the brakes a little bit when we're watching it, sort of like take it easy. But when you got like a straight shot like that, there's something about it where you just get lost in the motion. and that's really special. And that's it. This movie is a lost art. It really is. And I have a question later for the stream, but I might as well bring it up now. Why don't you think we get movies like this anymore? Because there is an audience, I would say.
So would you think something like La La Land would fall into this type of category? For a
Maybe
newer,
the closest thing, but it's certainly not at the level of this.
okay. And I'm not saying one's better than the other, but would that be a modern attempt to bring some of this magic back? The stars singing, dancing, and acting, and like, I don't know. That was one that I thought of when I was thinking about that.
I haven't seen that one. Have you guys seen it?
You've never seen it?
I think yes, because
I
it
think
does
you
feel
should.
like-
I'm not going to say you're going to enjoy it. I don't know, but I think it's worth watching. But I'll say that. So that's a different thing. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, you'll love it no matter what. But I think it's worth watching, and then you deciding whether you enjoy it or not.
That's with Ryan Gosling, is that right?
Emma
And
Stone.
Yeah, and Emma Stone. They have great chemistry in that, and they both are dancing and singing. I mean, just like this. But I feel like that was a modern resurgence of this type of film. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way or not. Or
Yeah, I saw it too, Corey, and it was good. It was good. I don't know. I think it tries to capture that point in time, the time period, and it doesn't do that great of a job, but it's really nice. It's a good film.
do you think it tried too hard? Like, I really want to go for that nostalgia, or
That's a good question. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like it was almost there, but not fully.
yeah.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it though.
Yeah,
I'm not
same.
saying better, but I still enjoyed it. It had great music throughout the whole thing too. So that's definitely one of those movies. Like I said, I always have a bunch that I'm like, it's worth watching, and then you decide whether you like it or not. You might not, but it's worth checking out. So
I think I'd be more interested if Emma Stone didn't get so freaky with her last few movies.
she's pretty normal. She's pretty normal in that one.
Oscar bait. That's all.
That
it
was
is,
before
Oscar.
she got really freaky. You got Begonia, then you had that. What was that? The one before. From what I've heard, I'd want to gouge my eyes out if I had to watch
Pretty
that
Things or something.
one. Yeah, what is it?
Well, I haven't seen that one.
Is it Pretty Things? Is that what
Pretty
it's
Little
called?
Things or something.
Yeah.
I haven't
No
seen that
thanks. Yeah, no.
yeah,
Emma Stone, I'm
something like
gone.
that.
You're done. I'm done with
That was
you.
a
Sorry.
wacky movie.
This was a continuation of the Gosling Emma Stone saga. Like they had was it Crazy Stupid Love that they were in together?
They
Yeah.
tried to pair them in a few things.
They have good chemistry together, I think. Yeah.
Mega Spidey Man, he asked a good question. Good to see you, man. Thank you for your support as always. I wonder what spurred you on to White Christmas of all Christmas films. Well, my mom has been wanting to watch this forever, and I was wrapping presents, and it was on this little Amazon tablet she had, and I was half paying attention the first time, but man, you just get sucked right in, and the song and dance stuff just pulls you right in. The color too, like you were saying, it's so weird how that color is so pungent. And there's nothing else like it that I've ever seen, and certainly not today. The CGI effect slop that we get, it does not make up for what this film does with color. Like, it's really exceptional, and it just sucks you right in. So I saw that, and I realized, I was half watching, but it was so captivating that I had to see it again. So then we went to the theater, the local theater, they were playing it, and yes, just absolutely breathtaking. That's why, man. I think we lost Cam again, so poor boy. He'll come back. Were you going to say something, Wilkie?
I was just going to say I agree with you completely. They have the pops of color throughout this whole thing, either in the background or individuals in their outfits. And I just upgraded one of my TVs over this last Black Friday and finally got like a newer, anyway, watch this in 4K on that thing, and the colors were just popping off of that thing. And I'm like, but I was like, they gotta, but that was also at the same time too. I can't remember what the technology was that they called it, but it was like
Technicolor
or something along those lines. Like right at the beginning, it's like one of our first films that were in Technicolor or whatever. And so I think they were really trying to push the color on the stuff. So even like Bing Crosby's eyes were like, his blue eyes were like burning through you when you were like watching the thing. So, but it looked beautiful. yeah, it was a good looking movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Contacts. Were those actually his eyes?
Yes. Well, that's the color they gave him on the Technicolor or whatever they used for it. But
Hey, they were enrapturing. They sucked me right in, Wilkie.
pulled you right in. Tractor beams.
Yes, the eye contact. What do you guys think? Why do you think this movie has stood the test of time for 71 years? I mean, we know all of the classics. It's a Wonderful Life. This, Sound of Music. Why has this made it this far? But those are just a few titles. I imagine there was hundreds, thousands of old movies back then that were that might be good, maybe close, but we all forget about it and they're not passed down like this one. What's so special about this?
Being in color is a big factor, I'd say. I was gonna say it's one of the but Wizard of Oz, that's 1939.
There you go.
You can't I don't think it beats like the factor that it's the first colored musical because obviously Wizard of Oz, but it's just it was so good, so well put together. It's a nice Christmas classic from the 50s, one of the most first classic Christmas musicals in color out there, I'd say.
Was it the first was it like the first like big hit that was in color
for music
wise?
Yeah, for Christmas at least.
But even like I'd say right along with that, even if you haven't watched this movie, did you ever hear "I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas" before this? So like the soundtrack, the music to it, I think some of that helped carry it on too. Where I don't know a year I don't hear that song at least a couple times, through the Christmas season. And I'm not arguing with that. I'm not complaining, but I think there were so many timeless things with that. And like you were saying too, like, I think that was a big thing when it first comes on my disc anyway, like it advertises that, like Technicolor or whatever the technology was at the time, it was pretty new, but you're also hitting on some themes where 70 years ago. So you're going to be hitting on some folks that are having their kids that were right out of World War II. And they're hitting on some themes there too, of coming out of that, things they're dealing with, and the joys of coming home and family and Christmas. And I maybe just hit on a lot of good notes for people, and it just kept on carrying on.
Well, this is like, because I haven't seen like too many movies of this time, not really many at all. I can't like exactly say this like in totality, but I can't think of, I definitely can't think of any modern titles that is about people doing like really going out of their way through a variety of hoops, a variety of obstacles to do something nice for somebody. That's the main mission here, is to show compassion for someone, that especially someone of authority, the general. They don't make movies like that anymore, where we honor people who are really important in our lives by putting ourselves out there to the lengths that these guys did, especially the sisters. I mean, the sisters, they, I imagine they didn't really it didn't seem like they got paid for all of this time, except for like the one performance they were supposed to do. And all these people, they really went out of their way to make this happen and to bring this failed business to life and to liven the spirits of this general. And, who knows how directly involved he was with all these soldiers, but, at the end of the day, everyone's there to support him. And I think that's so magical. And I kind of wonder if that's sort of like countercultural now, is compassion, just being compassionate as a theme to follow throughout a story, because I don't know any movies that are like that anymore. Your main protagonist just solely intent on doing something good for one person. It's totally lost.
I think that was the best way you put it, counterculture, because everything today is just black-pilled, political, race, gender, sexuality, stuff like that. And you're right, we don't get a lot of stuff like this. So hopefully we start getting a resurgence, because I think the only time we ever see movies like this is pretty much like on the Hallmark Channel, just like a cheesy thing like that. But people, they really should.
Doesn't mean it's bad.
That's
doesn't
true.
mean it's bad.
A lot of those
Doesn't mean it's
Hallmarks and like Netflix original ones are like cheesy Christmas stuff. They're fun and they're lighthearted and they're people doing nice things. So hopefully, with enough push on our end, we might get these things back in theaters.
Well, I think that's another thing that we're tied into. It's like feelings of family or connection or community, like whether family blood or family like through your unit in the army in this, or your the troop, the whole like the acting, like all the dancers, the singers and stuff. I mean, they're pulling together as a community and a family to do all these things. So yeah, it's nice to see some things like that. I'll agree.
Yeah. Real quick, we got a hater in the chat. Our friend Kyle. Merry Christmas, gang. Look, this movie has a moving pro-veteran message, but is overrated as a whole. Just because it was made in the golden age of Hollywood doesn't make it automatically great. Boom. Shots fired, people.
There's our positive Kyle. There's our positive Kyle. No, I'm just kidding.
He's always so optimistic. I'm glad he said pro-veteran, because I liked that. I really appreciated that.
Oh, I do too.
Appreciate the positivity around this. It wasn't a bleak story, and these guys were, making the most of their talent despite the trauma they probably had in the war.
I'll agree. I'll say that kind of pulled at me a little bit too, because both my grandfathers were in World War II in different branches and through different things, and not to go into that too much, but just knowing what they would talk about and what they wouldn't talk about, it was nice to see something like this where pro-veteran, but then also them pulling together to help each other out, like with the general, like him running into this, kind of even just getting on the outs of what do I do from here kind of a thing. But they pull together these, 10 years later and help each other out. So
I loved the positivities surrounding an American institution. My gosh, hearing them, gee, I wish I was back in the army. It's like, yes, that's come on, let's go, people. I like this. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it running. I love this. It's nice. It's like, I'm so unused to it. It's just like seeing a field of flowers for the first time. Really, I love that. Yeah, that really stuck out to me.
I did feel like it was an uplifting message for sure, and I love the movie based on, well, not that I like the movie just because it's a classic and it had some good points to it. I just wish at the end, like at least having like a nativity scene or something that kind of brings it back to God, because it just,
yeah, true.
It was about, the US of A, which is great, but it's just like you're kind of missing just one other part. Yeah.
Why do we have Christmas?
Reason. Yeah, the main reason.
Yeah, why do we have Christmas? What? The only reason we have Christmas. Yeah,
that's right. Preach, Wilkie, preach.
No, I'm just saying.
Good stuff. No.
Christmas. There's the reason it's named that.
Hey, and you know what? On this channel and on this stream and wherever I go, we will say Merry Christmas. Not Happy Holidays. No Happy Holidays here. It's Merry Christmas, everybody. Christmas. I've been
no offense if you don't, but I'll say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Will.
And Kyle, I'm gonna be a coward really quick and say this while you're completely defenseless. This movie was great. Okay, it was. This was peak Hollywood. You're right.
Oh,
this was a. I don't know if I don't know if it was the best movie of all time when it comes to musicals, but it was for sure one of the best musicals ever made.
Cook 'em, Luke. Cook 'em.
Now take that, Kyle. Speak up.
All right, Benjamin Slack, not Schlack. Good to see you, Ben. Great choice of discussion, guys. Thumbs up. Thanks, buddy.
But not every movie is going to hit everybody the same way. So I never take offense. Like I could come out and say like, "Oh, this is my favorite movie of all time," and you'd be like, "It was crap," and I'd be like, "Oh, that's cool. What's the next movie we're going to talk about?" Like I won't personally take anything from that. It's just movies hit people differently, and definitely it's a different time, and everything hits people differently. So there's no worries with that.
Before we get into the I want to start breaking down the story, because there's quite a few different chapters I have here written out. One more general observation I'm curious to know before we get to the specifics is, where do you think the charm comes from here? Where do you think it's most prevalent? Because there's so many qualities that make it stand out against like the rest of the timeless Christmas classics.
The chemistry between the characters.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's what I was thinking. That's what stands out to me the most. Between the two guys, it's just so authentic and real. Like just two guys that are so different, and how they sort of, Danny Kaye kind of eggs on Bing Crosby to, find his lady, even though he's so set on business. And then with the ladies too, once the ladies come in, I love the dynamic. My gosh, and Megan, you're talking about Bing Crosby's acting not being the best. But I mean, could you?
Okay,
could you deny how real it felt? How real it felt watching him and Rosemary Clooney's character slowly form this bond, even though both of them are such distant people that really don't want to get involved with romance.
Yeah, he definitely has charm. It's just not, the acting isn't as great as Davis, his friend. So it's that contrast. That's why I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. And then sometimes I'd go back to listening to what Wallace had to say, and it was a little bit off. I was like, what am I missing? And then I realized that he's more of a singer. Okay, so some of his lines hit better than others. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they both were charming for sure. So at the beginning, did you guys feel as though Davis was more of a ladies' man?
Yeah, I did. I thought immediately that was that was surprising. Like when you get later in the movie, it's like, oh wait, no, he's not.
That's why I was so confused at the end.
Mm-hmm. I was confused when he turned down the proposal.
Exactly.
Really, this is the girl you're doing a double take on?
Well, because earlier, isn't he like, hey, we got some dancing, singing girls over here. We got to go out for supper with them, And Bing Crosby's like, nah, not tonight. And
She's one of those WNBA chicks, maybe, but
nice. He likes them tall. No, and that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up, Megan. That was something that immediately struck me too, because obviously he wants Bing Crosby to get involved with the ladies, and he's setting them up right in the beginning, and the ladies seem to be into Danny Kaye as well. But yeah, once you get later on, obviously when he has like that alone time with Judy, and she's advancing on him, and he's getting all nervous, it's like, oh, this guy is not the ladies' man we thought he would be.
He was all talk.
Yeah, he didn't even want to kiss her, which was weird. I'm like, you're not even gonna kiss her? That's weird.
Well, I was gonna say there's that whole scene where she's doing the whole like idea about the proposal, and she like puts her hand on his leg, and he's like scooching back like, oh my gosh kind of a thing. And I'm like, okay, dude, play it a little cooler than that, like I'm not saying I'm really cool, but like you could do a little cooler than that.
Cool.
Yeah,
I think you're cool, Wilkie.
Well, thank you. It's because of the beard, right?
I want a biopic of Wilkie, Christmas themed.
Yeah, it'd be pretty boring. You'd probably fall asleep in that way.
Nice. Would it be a horror film?
Maybe when I was like a kid blowing up my G.I. Joes with like firecrackers or something like that. Nice. Then after that, you'd be like, wow, this kid's boring.
No.
Or unassuming.
Unassuming.
Yeah,
there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Skeletons in those closets.
I love that. Put a little like dun dun dun. Maybe it's
I think like with like the charm with this movie, I think it being so old and people wearing like older clothes, the way they talk, the way sort of the culture of the time. And the setting, like the older setting, I think it just kind of makes you think back to like, dear memories you have with your grandparents or with older relatives, and it's sort of, it's so funny how you're able to make those ties, even though it's like, we never saw our grandparents this way, but at least that's my case. I watch this movie and I think of my grandma and I think of, my older relatives, my great aunt PJ. And, I think that's charming for me. Do you guys kind of have that feeling where you sort of like, think of like grandma, grandpa, like
I can see that
kind of without even trying. It just kind of happens.
Or you're just like, my grandma or grandpa. You couldn't have been young and having fun and like going out with people, like, like hanging out like that. It is different to look at them in that light, but I think as you get older, you start feeling that way too. And then I have those conversations with my now grown kids where I was like, yeah, I was that age one time and I have gone through this before, kind of a thing. But anyway, I agree with that, but it is, I don't know, maybe it's nostalgia, like seeing them like this, like them traveling on a train, getting all dressed up and everything. I'm not in sweatpants and a hoodie, getting on my cheap midnight flight but they're like getting all dressed up to go travel on a train. And I don't know, there's something Hollywood about that. I don't know. To me, anyway. But,
I
Very
think the word is
classy.
effort.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
That-
totally gone now, isn't it?
But like, look at them right here. Yeah, look at this picture. They're all dressed up. Like, you think they'd be out at some super nice restaurant, like going out to eat or something, and they're on a train taking a trip to New York, you know, or Vermont or wherever they were going at the time. But look, if you look at them, jewelry, suits, dressed up and looking really nice, and like Megan said, like it just classy. I don't know.
And if I can remember, this is when, so previously the girls were in their room, and so they were probably just not as formally dressed. And this is their just dressing up or like just heading out. So this isn't even them super dressy, which is crazy.
This was my normal travel attire.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now
Get the
here
bracelets
we
and the
are.
earrings out. And
Like you said, Wilkie,
Exactly.
now we wear pajama bottoms, you
Yeah.
know, slippers.
I got my Uggs on and my Crocs, or you know.
You wear
and-
Uggs.
No. Well, yeah, I do. I have some really nice ones. I'll show you later. No, I'm just like joking, like saying like
Okay. Man, I would love to see that. That's awesome.
I should get some Uggs. I'll get
Yeah,
some.
you should. You
Maybe for
should
Christmas.
definitely.
We'll send him a
There's
pair
a-
for his birthday.
That's a good idea. Custom.
There's a part at the end where the general is wearing a robe, and I thought that he was just wearing something super fancy, and he's like, "Oh, I have to change out of this robe." I'm like, that looks so nice. That looks classy as is.
Yeah, that's
That-
way
that-
better than our casual.
That was like his like pajamas out of the shower or whatever, you know what you want to say. But yeah, like you said, it would be like, oh, I can never be seen in this, you know, kind of a thing. But it's dressier than a lot of us wear out in public anymore. So
Something I respected about the general, which made me think kind of differently about my own life, is, you know, I think like what people wear, it's sort of it's kind of like a mask in a way. Like if you see, you know, your boss only wear suits all the time, you know, that's an image of authority, right? Or of respect. And, you know, once you start seeing him wear, you know, pajama pants in public and sweatpants, whatever else, it's just different. And that's something that I just haven't really thought much about. And, you know, I think we just get so used to, you know, just being comfortable everywhere we go. I think we kind of lost that respect for, you know, for the image that we are when we're out. So this movie, and the general clearly states that in the end, you know, obviously he's just going downstairs and he doesn't want to be seen wearing anything else, you know, or wearing something that isn't to his caliber, you know, a suit. He had two or three suits, and
yeah,
they were out for the wash.
but his idea was he had to at least have a suit on to go
Yeah.
downstairs to his own place to
Yeah.
watch a show. But
Man, yeah, I can't live like that. So that's not gonna work for me.
I only can put a necktie on so many times. So, you know.
Exactly. Let's
You
move
just-
over to the first chapter, though. Here we are. We're done with the generalizations, everybody. We're not talking about the first part of the movie where we open up in World War II on the field, and we open with a performance held by, you know, this is the active duty versions of both Wallace and Davis, you know, Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye, and it's on Christmas Eve in the heart of battle. And of World War II, they put on this elegant performance to cheer up the troops, of course, on Christmas Eve. And higher command wants this extinguished. They're not interested. They want the guys, you know, set on the task at hand. And this is when we're introduced to General Waverly, of course, and he's thrown in to break it up, but he doesn't let it happen. He admires the boys, the art in the situation. He admires this opportunity for the guys, for the soldiers, the men, to take it easy and to have fun and to admire this peaceful holiday we all love and enjoy. And, you know, that's a special moment here. And at first it kind of looks like he might be breaking it up, but he doesn't. At least I didn't get the case that he was sort of doing that, because they ended up going on with the act. But this was, you know, a big show of the character here. And obviously from this point on, this is a big reason, I think, that, you know, Wallace and Davis harken back to why they enjoy and admire the general so much. So I'm kind of wondering what you guys think about this. How do you think this movie portrays sort of the wartime camaraderie compared to like the more modern iterations of war films with soldiers? Because obviously these guys are not the battle-hardened soldiers we're used to seeing nowadays, or at least the last 20 years.
I think it's a lot of show and not telling, because my first time watching this, I'm thinking, do we need more of the general? Because maybe do we need to see more of him being respected by his men? But the scene right here, it's very short and sweet. It tells you everything you need to know about him. And they didn't harp on it later on. They didn't have to talk about it or bring it up 1,000 times. We didn't need to know this guy's entire history. We got like a very simple scene here where he just let them sing because it was the right thing to do. And it was not hurting anyone. It was nice. And later on, they love him. It's like, well, we really didn't need 2 hours of them traveling with this guy to know everything we need to know through their eyes about him.
Yeah.
Great point.
It definitely brings up the camaraderie that he's trying to still instill with the men. And I love too, like World War Joe said, that it showcases so much where you're watching all this happen and then you get to see how young the men are that are actually enlisted. And then you also, in between breaks of them singing, see planes go over and you see bombs in the background or flashes of light. And so you just see that they're in an uncomfortable situation, but they're being brought together by music and by being around Christmas time. It's really great. Yeah.
You know, Joe, I love what you said. We don't get much of this. Like, this is, I think this is the only snippet of the whole war we see. Is this introduction. It's not long, maybe like 5 minutes tops. It's pretty short segment, and it's clear like there's so much impact in this. And you know, they kind of talk about it just a pinch throughout the movie, but this was enough. Even with General Waverly's character, that's special if they're able to do that. Nice. Yeah. I think I liked seeing how kind of, this is a human moment, right? This entire sequence is very human. And this is, you know, so different compared to what they're dealing with, you know, the horrors of war. And they get this gentle moment to kind of, you know, enjoy silence, enjoy peace, right? This is probably the most amount of peace they've had their entire tour here. And, you know, it really stands out. And I kind of like a question that just kind of popped in my head while you guys were talking was, and I don't know if this question even has an answer. I'm curious to know if you guys know something I don't, but was, you know, Bing Crosby, you know, Wallace and Davis, were they like entertainers before they went into the war at this point? Or was this sort of like, you know, they kind of became an act together post-war?
I would say you have to have this skill before you go into war. It must have been they did this their entire lives, and then maybe as they're fighting together, it just came up in conversation. Oh, you sing and dance too? Cool, let's do an act. But I don't think they developed this wallet during the war.
Okay. Well, I was wondering if like the fame was there before, but I mean, like, who's there to tell, right?
Yeah, I think what brings them together is when, well, what we see is towards the end of the war, when Davis lets Wallace know, hey, I wrote a piece of music for you that we can sing together. It's a duet. And then he, prior to, saves his life. And so he feels obligated to go on the road with him. Yeah, and do shows.
That's where it made me kind of feel like Bing Crosby's character had something going on before going into the war. Maybe he did some performances, things like that. And but then Danny Kaye's character, that he knew that, and he was like, hey, I wrote something we could. And then I also loved how Danny would go back to holding his elbow like every time when they had a disagreement or like he wanted to have something happen, he'd be like, oh, you know, and like grab his elbow a little bit. But it was making light of it, but it made me feel like Bing Crosby's character had something in the works before he was enlisted or you know, into the war or whatever. But
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, I was curious about like the talent, or not the talent level, but I felt like Bing Crosby's character had to have had some sort of like people knew who he was going into like the war. You know, that was something about you know, Apocalypse Now with Vietnam is Lance. He's like a famous surfer, right? And he's still drafted just like everybody else, and that's like something interesting about it, right? Is nobody's safe from being drafted. And you know,
well, and you don't know with this character too. Bing Crosby's character could have, you know, went and enlisted himself too. You know,
he wouldn't be
that kind of
drafted.
thing. But you know, like, or who knows? Either way, but like, you know, you could have had somebody that maybe he had a good thing going, but he's like, you know what? If I want this good thing to keep on going, I got to protect this to be able to have that in the future, and for other people to have this in the future. And you know, he could have gone and just enlisted, but he had that talent, and you know, if that helped the other, guys out in the troop, lift the spirits a little bit. They put on a little show and give them a good laugh or whatever. I think anything, little thing like that anybody can do, they can lean on their talents to help people out.
Damn, give me that movie. That sounds awesome. Yeah, and the way you said it sounded perfectly just like Bing Crosby would say it. Well, the guy's got to do what he got, help everyone out.
Yeah.
Can Wilkie sing like Bing Crosby?
No.
Let's hear it.
Being modest.
No, I'm not being modest on that one.
He's so modest.
No, I will agree. I'm not. I will admit I'm not modest on that one.
Oh.
Someday I will sing for you, but you will not enjoy it. I will say that.
I think I asked you to do that in one of your chats, but you didn't do it.
I did not do that.
You didn't pay enough money.
Yeah, exactly.
Give them the money.
How many subs
I
do
think
we
it
have
was a
to get
super
him to
chat
sing?
too.
Come on.
Yeah. He didn't
many
do
stories?
what
I'm
the
Sorry.
super chat
I'm so
demanded.
bad. I'm so bad.
Oh,
Next
no.
time, you don't even have to do a super chat. Next time, if you run the live chat, you don't have to give any money. You just say, Corey, sing this song, and I will
Whoa.
think about it seriously.
Oh, come on.
Ooh, lame.
No. I'll try,
Whoa.
but I don't want to get copyright strike.
Oh,
I could be so good that they take my video down.
Man.
So modest.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Danny Kaye. That's
No.
good.
Anyway, next topic. Let's go.
Yes,
Let's
yeah, moving on to the next one. Good one. All right, so then I guess we might as well just jump right in over here. We're gonna go back to this picture here. So obviously after the war, the two become, quite famous, doing a variety of different acts, and eventually they get introduced to the Haynes sisters, kind of a similar situation. Two entertainers, singers and dancers, both very talented and such, and immediately. Bing Crosby, the guy who is not interested in the ladies, he's distant, he's strictly business. He sees Rosemary Clooney and he's like, whoa, I like what I'm seeing. And Danny Kaye, he sees Judy and he's like, I like what I'm seeing. And of course, I love the scene where they're doing the sister song, obviously, right? And
Is that what you say to the ladies, Jackson?
that's my line, man. That's my line. No, but I love the scene like in Sisters where they're both dancing and they're both like talking about, oh, what beautiful brown eyes. No, they're blue. No, they're brown. No, they're blue. It's like, oh wow, this guy's actually into one of them. This is nice. So that really, it's just such a charming moment when these girls are introduced to the story, and from this point on, they kind of become a what do you call it? A quadruplet, or what would you call it? Like four people together.
Quartet.
Quartet. Okay, they become a quartet,
I don't
right?
know.
Yeah. Maybe you're right. I don't know either. I don't know bands.
I think that's a
I
singing.
don't know music.
That-
Yeah, it's a
whatever.
cool. Yeah,
We'll call it that, whatever it is. But most of the movie, when it comes to romance, of course, Bing Crosby character and Rosemary Clooney, their courtship's very interesting. And like overall, start to finish, what do you guys think makes their story of romance so enrapturing?
Besides 25 years difference.
Yeah, that's where I'm stuck on.
That'll get you right.
Maybe just
I'm
'cause
wondering,
how-
is his character actually 50 in this?
I'm just talking about their actual ages.
Yeah.
The real people when they
Oh.
were playing these roles. He was like 51 and she was like 26 in this.
insane.
Yeah,
So
he
anyway.
says his age, but
No.
yeah, he's definitely older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
When they sing the Sisters song, did you guys think of the SNL sketch? Was it the Lawrence Welk show, Sisters? Like they sing that. There's like one really ugly sister. Okay, I'm the only one. That's what I heard of the whole time.
I didn't know you were an SNL nut, Megan.
No, not fully.
Even
but
modern
it just,
SNL.
this is 12 years ago. So,
That's
but it just made me think of it. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Not to go on a side tangent, but the one that I did think of was when Rosemary Clooney was doing her standalone scene when she kind of ran off to New
yeah.
York.
Oh, the
Like her-
carousel. Yeah.
That's a good one.
when she did her solo thing with the guys, it made me think of Material Girl by Madonna. If you ever seen that video, I'm not saying. Look it up. I was thinking of Madonna right there with Material Girl, but I know it was like I think she modeled hers off of a thing Marilyn Monroe did, but it made me think.
Do you
of it.
follow Madonna very closely?
It sounds like it.
We're pretty good friends. You know,
Oh.
honestly, she's kind of been stuck up lately and hasn't talked to me a lot. But
It's all the plastic surgery.
yeah, you know, we used to hang out on the grams all the time.
Oh.
But, no, I'm just kidding.
Wow. Nice.
Anyway, no, but it just made me think of that video. But I know hers was based off a Marilyn Monroe thing, but that whole scene made me think of that video. So I'm done. Let's go.
Nice. Well, I think something that like worked with me with these two is, you know, they're pretty similar characters. You know, they're distant. They're not interested in pursuing a relationship. And of course, like those two people meet, right? And they're attracted to each other. But I think this movie, it does such a great job just gracefully giving us little pieces at a time, building this story into like a realistic love story that seems like, you know, a place that we've been at some point in time. And even through the hiccup they have, I think we've all had a hiccup like that in our romance where something doesn't go right, but you get past it and you learn that, you know, our assumptions weren't always true, and, you know, you get over it and move on. So I don't know. I think it's just easy to really relate to this story as well.
Well, it's interesting that it's not a full meet cute because they say that it was their brother, Benny, that brought them together, that said that you should check out these sisters. And so that's when Wallace and Davis come to visit. And they're like, Benny's gross. Are you kidding me? That freckle-faced kid? He has sisters? Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think that's funny because they're sitting there like, how did he have good-looking sisters like that? Basically, I can't remember the exact line, but they were basically like, how in the world are those his sisters? You know,
They even pull up a picture too. I'm like, he's not that bad.
He's like, oh, he still looks great as always, you know, kind of a thing. But, like,
I think part of what made it also fun was that, you know, their relationship was being coaxed by Danny Kaye and Judy here. I think that just made it like a whole other level, like seeing another perspective and glimpse into this story. I mean, if it weren't for those two, it probably wouldn't have worked out because, I mean, they were sort of pushing them together in the background. And I think their antics just kind of made the story, it kind of lightened the story a little bit because, you know, the two are so dramatic. And then you have these two silly people that are trying to like orchestrate their love forming. So I don't know. I think that adds an extra level of charm to it that, I don't know. I can't think of any other, you know, famous romance stories that are like that.
Parent Trap. No, I'm just kidding. It just kind of make me think. No, I'm totally joking, but it kind of makes me think of that where you got the two, you know, that are like, oh, we can get them together, you know, kind of a thing, and they're trying to pull all the stops out to get them to fall in love, and
we've all done that to people. So.
Yeah.
The fake proposal. I love that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's the only way we can do it. Let's go. Like, yeah, I thought that was kind of funny with that. But
what do you think, like, you know, we're talking about the proposal now between Danny Kaye and Judy. What do you think it is that makes this romance so compelling, too? Because this is sort of, you know, it's more of a background tale. You know, this is not a prominent theme we follow most of the time. It's sort of like it stews slowly in the back, but I think it's just as intriguing as the main one.
It was very weird watching him go from this lady man's character that you thought he was just hooking up with every chick in the world, and now it's you're really, this is a perfect picture because he really like arches his back and tries to get the hell out of there as fast as he can. So
yeah, he cowers down pretty quick on this one.
But what was his reason for it? I forgot.
Commitment. I think the whole thing was she was throwing out engagement and stuff, and his big fear was this is me throwing out there, but it's the commitment thing. Like he wanted to hang out at the restaurants and the bars or whatever, or the dancers and whatever. But when it came down to being like one-on-one and some commitment being thrown around, he cowered to that. So
What would have been like something kind of cute that would have thrown a wrench and everything is if when all the dancers show up to Vermont, if the Davis character, one of the dancers says, "Oh, hey, how's it going, Davis?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah, I don't know her." Like something like that, where it kind of comes to bite him in the butt, but nothing like that happens.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah, he didn't look like a hoe at all. He was definitely the
really
He was
hoe.
not a hoe.
Look at that! Look at that cardigan. He is.
He's got game.
Yeah. You don't wear a cardigan like that with
No,
game.
no way. Exactly.
Or whatever you want to
Button
call
is
it.
unbuttoned.
Yeah, look at that. How far that he has that
It's
unbuttoned.
whoa, man.
I step into the women.
Yeah.
Revealing.
That's something weird. It's like, how fashion has changed so much too and what people find attractive. I'm rewatching Seinfeld, and Kramer, he has this ugly beige jacket. And in the store, in the series, he's talking about how all the ladies love that beige jacket, and it's the most old man jacket ever. So I mean, I don't know if that's the show just being funny, like this jacket is ugly, or maybe back then that was an attractive piece of fashion that ladies liked. I don't know. To me, it's funny because it's really ugly, but maybe
Back in the 90s.
Well, I'll tell you some
Such a
90s.
long time
I'll tell you some 90s. I'll show you some pictures from the 90s. No, it's funny though. Like even looking back at yourself, like in middle school or high school, or there's things that you were like, I knew at that time I thought I was pretty darn cool, and you see the pictures and you're like, whew, what was I thinking with that? But styles, hairstyles, clothes, everything just changes. But I still think they look very classic in this. So to me, it doesn't seem cringy the way they're dressed. I almost say I think classic Hollywood when I'm looking at.
No, I don't think this is cringe,
Agreed.
this movie.
Yeah.
But Seinfeld, I think they were, I don't know, there was a few.
Yeah,
moments.
but I will show you some 90s cringe pictures of me sometime if you want to.
Members only?
Yes.
Oh yeah, bowl cut with big bangs and stuff. And it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. No, I never had a mullet. My dad wouldn't let me. So
Now all the kids have mullets. Isn't that cool, Wilkie?
Yeah.
is it?
No, it's not.
No,
It's
I'm
not
not.
cool.
I'm just
It
joking.
doesn't look cool.
No.
Oh gosh. Yeah. I think we were talking about like the song and dance numbers. I think that makes a big difference, and I think something that is also a lost art is just showing people happy and smiling. Like this movie is such a happy movie, and these two characters are so happy and joyous the whole time. And I miss that. I want to see more of that in movies. I want to follow happy characters that are smiling brightly and enjoying themselves and love life. I just feel like we don't see that anymore at all. And, that's something we love about the old movies, right? Of course, the Christmas classics. There's that genuine love that you feel through the screen. But those song and dance numbers, that's a big reason why we get those feelings. Because, between these two people, we see that connection form through, several of their song and dance numbers. And they're just both so happy. They get along so well together. And, that positive energy, it just kind of rubs off on you. You can't help but to love these two together because of it.
And I think a lot of people have talked about movies at this time in the same way, where you're coming out of World War II. That's ended. People are coming home. People are starting families. There's like prosperity, and whether you think it's good or bad, I think a lot of movies and shows leaned into that, the happy, prosperous feeling at the time, like coming out of that, like being done with it and coming home and starting your families and doing things like that. So, if you watch, it seems like quite a few movies around this time coming out of World War II, you get that, where even in this, when you have your dramatic confrontations, they're not really that bad. Like I've been in a worse argument than that at my house, like kind of a thing, but just joking, but not really. But seriously though, like it really is leaning on, like you said, family, community, prosperity, happiness, and you see a lot of smiling, a lot of dancing, a lot of singing throughout the whole movie. So
Miss with a hiss, she poses a very important question. How would they have looked dancing around in sweatpants?
Sweaty.
That would look
That
so
would be
bad.
sweaty. They may have been more comfortable. We don't know.
No.
No.
Yeah. So real quick, unrelated. Cab, we were talking about Cab's background earlier before the show. Doesn't it look like he's in a black and white like cartoon or something? He looks like he's in a newspaper cartoon, and I love it. And it's not a filter, right? Not a filter.
No, that's just my gray walls.
Oh my gosh,
It's
I
funny
love
'cause
it.
I
That's
have
so
like
cool.
a yellow light on too, but you can't really see it come through. But yeah, it's
That makes me
great.
think of sound panels behind you when I see the. I don't know Are those drapes over like windows or right behind you? Yeah.
He's in the Matrix.
So they're just like strips of wrapping paper.
Oh,
We don't have blinds up here yet, so
no, that's all right.
My brother just cut out some wrapping paper and taped it to the window.
Hey Cam, you should do a house tour
here, and
House
we always
tour.
have the sun blasting in our face.
Yeah.
And so we're like, we can't do this anymore. So
we need to know if the
really
rest
make
of the room is black and white or not.
Oh, that's right.
It's not.
Well, it was a good choice on his part because he's. Oh my
Wow.
gosh!
What?
Wow, there's
You got a
a
tree?
Okay.
Yeah.
And a
Wow,
big
that
old
is
TV.
crazy.
And a big old TV. There you go.
Wow, that's cool.
That's all you need: a Christmas tree and a big TV. And
That
you're
is
good.
crazy. Don't change it, man. Go,
Yeah,
just
I like
embrace
it.
that.
It's
We're gonna
calm on
start-
the eyes.
Cool.
We're gonna start sending you some gifts to put some pops of color in that room.
Oh, yeah,
we gotta
red.
get some, get something. No, I'm just joking.
Nice. So, what do you guys think? How would you contrast these stories of romance to today's stories of romance? Because I think they're so different from what we see here compared to what we get now.
More
It was
charming.
simple.
You say more
Okay.
simple.
I would say it was very
Like,
simple. Like I
movies
said,
today just deal with such heavy themes, and like I think the big charm I see to this movie is just someone mentioned like just the simplicity of it. It's not a complex story. There's no heavy themes that they're trying to explore. It's just a good, happy, feel good, innocent movie. That's why I like it, because there's just so much heavy, like dramatic movies
Yeah.
nowadays. That
It has to be
like,
super
you don't get
deep.
movies like this anymore. I mean, the last kind of happy, feel good movie I saw recently was like the new SpongeBob.
Nice. Yeah, it's literally just children's movies that are filling that void.
I had to watch it a second time to understand what the actual fight was and why she left. It was like, oh, you
Thank
left
you.
because he, what's the reason here? Oh, you don't like him because you want to be single for a little longer? Like, what's the problem here, guys?
I think it was she thought he was trying to profit off of the other guy's demise, kind of a thing. Because that was like the misunderstanding. I think that he was going to get this big payout for going on TV for it or something along those lines. But I agree with you. It wasn't like super obvious, and I was also like, why aren't you guys just talking to each other? To be like, you know, how many times you're just like, what's wrong? Well, I'll tell you what's wrong, and then it could have had it done in like 15 minutes. And
Yeah, we'll get to that later because I think that's definitely like one of those noteworthy moments. Real quick, Horror with Nads is here, member for 2 months. This is the first like member chat I think I've gotten. Maybe you did one once, Wilkie. I'm not sure, but thanks for your support, Nads. Appreciate
thanks for
you.
remembering mine.
Nadia is going to be on with us
No, I'm just kidding.
in 2 weeks. We're going to be talking about that'll be a surprise for everybody. What we talk about in 2 weeks. Yeah, wait till
you
the end of
almost
the
said
stream.
it.
To learn
I was going to
next
say
week.
it's almost not a surprise anymore.
Ooh.
I literally didn't say anything.
Spoiler,
So, you're
spoiler alert.
You're tripping. Nads wishes everyone a Merry Christmas, y'all. Blessings.
Merry
upon
Christmas,
all you.
Nadia.
Aw, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Let's say hi to a few more people joining us. Rebel Rose, sorry I'm late. This is one of my top 5 Christmas movies. Absolutely.
Nice.
And Emperor Goodwin has a very different take. Obviously, racist Christmas. He's always so positive.
There's one black guy. He was stirring the drink for them on the train.
Nice. Oh gosh.
Representation.
Yeah. I think when it comes to romance, this isn't like, I think a lot of romance stories nowadays are like really selfish. Like a lot of it's about me, or it has to do with like an issue between two people or like a family crisis. This isn't really that. It's like, both of these people are set on, being compassionate, putting themselves out there, putting in the effort to make someone happy and to put in a lot of work to lift someone's spirits. And, that kind of goes back to like, this just being one of those like goodwill films that like we just don't see much other than Hallmark movies and like animated kids movies that are just like goodwill, happy films. Yeah. Why are romance movies so like deep? Why do they have to be so deep like that? Can't we just get a happy tale? I guess it's probably because young people are so dramatic. They are so dramatic, as I am dramatic, saying this out loud.
Well, I was going to say, Brawler, when you say young people, how young are you talking? Like you young or younger than you? No, I'm joking.
Nice. Well, me young. I'm part of this, unfortunately. Yeah, me young. I'm the problem. We're the problem. So
no, I'm totally joking.
Well, millennials are also the problem. I hate to break it to y'all. Y'all
I hate to break it to you, but every generation brings their own problems. I'll say that. Every generation brings their own problems.
Not old people. Not old people, Wilkie. Not saying you. I'm saying old people.
No, I'm gonna disagree on that. I bring my problems too. All of us do. But,
what generation are you?
X.
Millennial? Oh, you're X. Okay. Nice.
Millennial? What? Look at all the gray in my beard.
I'm being nice. Sorry. Yeah. The love of Christmas. I'm so sorry.
No, Gen X.
The spirit of Christmas.
Yeah. I'm a Gen Xer. Probably towards the younger side of it, but yeah.
Where's Gen X man when you need him?
I know, right?
Well, let's move on to the next part here.
Enough
next
of Corey.
installation.
No, I'm joking.
You're funny, man. You're funny. Okay,
I will. Can I say one quick thing?
Yes,
when you were talking about the relationships, and I will be quiet after that. But I did know some people that felt that it was outdated and almost sexist the way that they approach some of these because, and I'm not saying I agree, but I did talk to a few other people and they're like, well, the women, what? Oh, they have to give up their careers and just get married and have kids, kind of a thing. And I'm like, well, that's not
I don't think they pushed that in here.
Either. Well, I'm not saying I said that. I'm just relaying what I've heard from other people. So I'm not going to argue with that too much. But anyway, you're also looking at a completely different time too. What, 44? What?
Yeah.
I don't know what year it was.
Yeah, one of those World War II years.
44.
Well, I mean, the ladies, they were successful on their own. I mean, they were successful enough. And these two guys, I mean, if it was two super famous ladies, they would still want to piggyback off their success. I mean, that has nothing to do with them being dudes. I mean, they're two successful dudes.
I'm just telling you what I heard.
I know. Man. I'm just saying, like, for the story itself. But nice.
Moving on.
Yes, moving on. Of course. That was good though. I mean, good topic. So, of course, we're talking about how initially neither of them were really interested in finding some sort of a romantic flair here. But, as Wallace slowly invests in Betty, as Davis tricks him into traveling to Vermont to stay at this remote cabin, we're really early on in this story still. We still haven't gotten very far. So, we're not going to speed this up. We still got a lot to talk about. But, this is like one of these moments that really stuck out to me was this train scene. The what did you call it? The quartet?
Yeah.
Which is the quartet now the quartet. They're all traveling to Vermont together. And they're on this train. They're on this beautiful train, and they are singing, their infamous song, the snow song, preaching the wonders of snow right before they arrive. And once they get to the cabin, they're surprised that, this place is really empty. This should be popping out here. It's a beautiful place, and that there's no snow. They're dreaming of the wonders of snow and the beauty of it. And it sounds like they must not get much in their life because they're really fantasizing about snow. Which I loved. I thought that was nice. I'm fantasizing about snow out here. It's warm where I am in Ohio. It's warm. It's like spring out here.
Bring something up about that?
What?
I've lived in the north my entire life. I just moved down to the south a few years ago. It is depressing Christmas with no snow at all. It's been like 80 degrees. We've been doing nothing but hotel hopping to Disney, wearing shorts, and my family's up in Jersey. It's like, oh, you guys are dealing with 30-degree weather and stuff. So there is a charm to, I know it's kind of cheesy with this whole thing though. There is a certain charm to Christmas when you're seeing snow, when you look at it, like, back to being a kid and everything like that. So I think that really played into it for me.
Yeah, that's part of it, right? I mean, it's crazy how many people, they celebrate Christmas and whatever else, and there's no snow anywhere. It's crazy. Like, you think of Christmas, you want the snow outside, you want the ornaments. Snow is such a special thing. And
I didn't know that that wasn't a thing. I want to say it was like the early 2000s, and I think we had just gotten cable, so I was watching Disney Channel, and there was one movie that came out that was like The Ultimate Wish or something, and they wished for snow in California. I'm like, you don't have snow in California? I'm from Illinois. It snows all the time. I'll give you some of mine. And it didn't crunch the same. It was really weird, but yeah.
Nice.
All right, I promise this to be really short, but that made me think of when I was in college. Sorry, I go off track. But in the dorm, there was this 300-pound, almost 6'5" guy that was trying out to be on the line at the college football team. And it was his first time seeing snow, and we saw this big old dude just drop in the middle of it and doing snow angels because he'd never seen snow before. And I was like, that was one of the sights I will never forget. This, I mean, I'm literally like 350, 6'5", big dude, just like, it's snowing. And I'm like, yeah, I've lived here all my life. It does it every year, you know. Kind
Not
of
that
thing.
great.
Yeah, but it was funny seeing somebody experience it for the first time, especially at that age. So,
well, I think that's like, you know, I think that's sort of what's special about this movie is it like harkens to like innocent pleasures that everybody enjoys, right? Like snow, right? It's just such a simple thing of snow and how it affects us. And here we are. We all have these funny little anecdotes about snow in our life. And I think throughout the whole movie, I think this sequence is my favorite when they're on the train and they're singing about snow. I love this. What do you think stood out to you guys in this whole sequence here? It's not very long, it's short, but you know, this is the introduction to sort of like a that camaraderie between the four. They're all acting together, and this is sort of them kind of warming up to each other.
It's just nice. I think that's just the simplest way to put it. It's four people that we like them all. There's no stereotypical, oh, she's the jerk character, and oh, they all have their over the top quirks and stuff like that. It's just four people that are just going out to Vermont that love singing, love entertaining, love making people happy, and that's just, it's not over the top cliche. And I think if it was made today, everyone would have their own little weird quirks and something like that.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
That's so disappointing too. That's so true. People like that is literally what they do every time, and then they wonder why we don't like a lot of these characters they give us now, because they have to have their oddball quirks that are utterly insufferable. And you know, when they have those going for them, it's like, okay, I don't like you, I'm not interested in your story, I don't want you ruining what we've got here with characters I do like, stay away. But you're stuck with them.
I was watching Welcome to Derry, and it's the exact same cast as the other It movies. Like, oh, you're the weird one. Oh, you're the over-the-top vulgar one. Oh, you're the one girl. Okay, we're just doing it again.
I think the only dynamic that they have is that the Betty character is older, so she's more like a mother hen towards Judy. That's like the only dynamic that you have throughout it.
which is funny because she's actually younger than her in real life. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Because Betty is the Rosemary Clooney one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she was 26, I want to say, I looked up in this. And Vera's character was like 32 or 33.
Wow.
So it's kind of funny. So like Vera and Danny Kaye were pretty much about the same age. But then that's when I was like looking up like, oh, what's some fun facts about this movie? Because I was like, I've always heard about it, but I was digging into it. But yeah, that's the big thing that kept on coming up is Bing Crosby and Rosemary Clooney's, like in real life, ages at that time were about 25 years apart.
Wow.
so it's kind of funny. The mother hen one is actually younger in real life in there.
That's crazy. You know, this is like, I think setting, you get lost in setting a lot of the time where the setting is just, nowadays, I think there's some great settings that are iconic with a lot of newer movies, right? There's a lot of great worlds, a lot of great world building. I can credit, modern cinema for that. I think this one, it's familiar. It's a familiar world, clearly. But I think each space we're in it's so comfy and homey. And, you think of Polar Express and how, of course, you want to ride the Polar Express. Here we are here in this beautiful setting, a romantic train ride. It's warm in there. They have, probably hot chocolate. They got all these snacks and goodies at their disposal. They're singing Christmas songs. There's just like that coziness to it, and it's not something you like manufacture. It's got to be subtle. And I think this checks all those boxes. Something that's crazy is I have a friend. I just went to a wedding recently, and he rode by train all the way from New York to Ohio. And yeah, Luke knows him too. And he rode a train. It was like a 15-hour, 18-hour train ride, which it would be, a long plane ride too.
It's impressive.
And he said they're still going, and it's great. It's a relaxing trip, and it's like you can still do stuff like this. And I think that goes under all our radars. After learning that, I am so down for like some little winter adventure on a train. And I want to make this happen just like this.
Road trip.
Yes, let's get the panel together. But I think something that also works for this sequence too, which I think is so clever about this movie, and especially with this song "Snow," of course you have this amazing scene where they're singing about snow, and it's really catchy. Throughout the movie, they just sing little, I don't know if stanza is the right word, but little verses from this song, just casually throughout the movie. And by the end of it, you can't help but to start singing it yourself. That's how it got me so well. I'm wrapping presents, I hear snow, 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 and then 5 minutes later, they start singing a little bit of the song, and then they do it again. And then, you watch the movie several times over, and it's like, oh yeah, I love that song. I think that's so clever, and they do it in such a way that's so subtle, and definitely really sticks with you. But that's what always brings me back to this moment. I think it's also too like, both the guys and the girls, they sound, I mean, this might sound stupid, but it's true. They are so different. Their voices, the ladies, they're not like high pitched necessarily. They have a unique kind of bravado to them. But the guys, they're both so masterful at singing. And although they're polar opposites, they just go so well together, and they melt together so naturally. And I think it's just a testament to great performances from these actors and song artists that's authentic, that's real, and you can't manufacture real. And I think that's like another reason why these movies, like White Christmas and It's a Wonderful Life, why they stand the test of time, is because it's so authentic. And I think that can't even really be done with direction. I think a lot of that comes down to the actors and their performances. And here we go. These four characters, they got it going just naturally.
Just out of curiosity, a quick question, and anybody on here can answer too. But obviously, this movie was out before any of us were born. But did you have a point where you kind of turned your nose up at older movies, and then like a certain point in your, falling in love with movies and watching them, that you started dipping your toe into it a little bit more and giving them a chance? Or have you always liked them? Not to go too far down that road, but
it's a good question.
The first time I saw this, it was on Tubi, and then afterwards Oklahoma was recommended, and then Seven Brides and Seven Husbands. So yeah, I watched them all. I'm like, these are fantastic. Why aren't we getting these today?
Yeah, it's a lost art. Yeah, I haven't watched too many really old movies. I've seen Lawrence of Arabia, Dr. Zhivago, Bridge on the River Kwai, all David Lean movies. I think that's it. Really old ones.
Do we need them to bring them back? Because we've said many times on these streams that you want real storytelling, you crave good movies and stuff like that.
I watch a lot of old movies. Yeah. I love them.
Exactly. But if we stop making movies today, we got over 70 years of classics and great things that are just literally waiting for it to be rediscovered again.
So I think just put them all on the big screen, please.
You're gonna open a movie
because I just want to go in the theater. You're damn right, Joe. You're dang right.
This is the arc. You're gonna do with the dog, giving the Doug movie here, whatever it was.
That's the catchphrase that'll invite everybody in the doors, the golden doors. Yeah. No,
I was gonna say, Cam, you said you love the older movies, but have you always, or was there a time you really remember where you got introduced where you're like, oh yeah, this is a lot more here I could dig into? But
I mean, so Seven Brides for Seven Brothers has been mentioned a few times. That's a movie that I just grew up with watching a lot. But I guess I didn't really start appreciating older movies till I took like a film analysis class in college. And then I started watching a lot more and just, I've seen like Sound of Music growing up, but I didn't love it then like I do now. Like as I've matured into my taste in movies. Like I've opened up to, just appreciating older movies a lot more than I used to. Yeah, I watch them as often as I can. Excuse me.
That's weird how that appreciation comes at an older age, right? It's weird.
Well, I think your experiences in life can shape how you view something. And me watching something at 12 years old, I could take it completely different at 49 with kids that are out of the house. And so, there's things that can hit you differently, things that you've gone through in your life yeah, absolutely. It's nice to revisit some things, but no, I was just kind of curious because I know I kind of turned my nose up at like if it was black and white, I turned my nose up at for a long time. And I was kind of later in my 20s before I was like, wait a minute, this is actually pretty good, and started dipping into. So I was just kind of curious. There's not a right or wrong
about black and white too, where it's like, this is definitely a movie. Like this is an experience unlike anything you're going to do at all in your life. It's black and white. This isn't like, this isn't what we see day to day. It's totally different. It's like, Cam's room. It's black and white. And, I look at him and I wonder if this is real or not. It's, it takes
it's
you
classic.
In.
Leave him alone. It's classic.
Proctafile. I'm glad he brought this up. Brawler, watch the 1947 Miracle on 34th Street. It's free on YouTube. And anything starring Hedy Lamarr, you'll thank me later. So I had the ultimate privilege to see the black and white 1947 Miracle on 34th Street last week. So I went and saw that at a local theater with my mom. And then the next day we saw White Christmas. And my gosh, this movie was really touching. It choked me up in the end. And great example. Proctafile, very good choice. I loved that one. It's tough to say which one's better. I don't know. They're pretty even. I think I like White Christmas a little more, but that one, my gosh, that's special. Really special film.
White Christmas I saw, I think in like next week is supposed to be at my local theater. So
nice.
But like you said, it's cool when they're bringing back some of the classics, whether it's from the 40s or from the 80s or 90s or whatever, like ones that you might not have been able to see in the theater originally, or you saw them a long time ago. I think that's a really cool way they can bring more people put people in the seats at the theater.
It would be great.
I've said this before, like this year alone, like I've been more excited to see these re-releases than anything new coming out. Like I got to see like Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade in theaters. I got to see like a couple of the Harry Potters. I was more excited to see any of those than most of the. I mean, I'll go see the new movies, but I'm not stoked to see them like I am.
They're so good.
People check out Cam. Follow him on Instagram and look him up on YouTube. Link in description. He always, he reminds me of all the titles that are hitting the theaters. If this old movie's coming out, he lets you know in a timely manner all the time. I don't know how he does it. He's always posting about old movies coming to theaters, new movies. So yeah, definitely check him out on that. Definitely respect the grind. So yeah, I'm totally in the same boat as you. Joe, I would love to open a theater. It's a dream come true. My theater would be running only old movies over and over again. But I don't know how you get away with something like that, right? It would be so cool. But
I think they do better if they ran more older ones. Like that was a big talk around us when the Jaws, the anniversary came out into the theaters. It was grossing more money than for a couple of weeks than the new ones that were being released. And that's not putting a slight to the new ones, but I'm just saying like, we'll do a nice balance of that. Like, can't you do well off of both of those? Like have the new releases coming out, like still support those, but it like a Jaws or like a White Christmas or, They Live or Independence Day or whatever, like lean into different times of the year. And I think they got to figure out some stuff like that because I'm in a small market and a lot of our theaters have closed down and there's only a few left. So I hope they keep on trucking along with some stuff like that.
How great would it be if you could just purchase one of those little rundown theaters locally and then just run old movies all the time? That'd be so cool. It's probably not
totally
legal.
do it, Jackson.
It's probably not legal. I don't know. I don't know how you can make money doing that, because it's like, those are, I don't know, like copyrighted titles. But man, I'm down. If it's not, if it's legal, count me
I'd
in.
go daily.
There you go, Luke. You'd be a member. That'd be cool. Give you some perks. 5%
Endorse
off
it.
popcorn. There you go.
Nice. All right, there you go.
At
That's
least
worth,
$100 a
was
month.
humble.
that's worth it in this day and age.
That's
you get,
right.
You get free
exactly.
extra butter on your popcorn.
Ooh. I'll just microwave it for you.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. We got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pop
I'll
Secret
take
is
it.
going in the microwave right now for you.
Exactly. Oh gosh. All right. Let's say hi to some
what-
more people. In
I
the
was gonna
chat
say,
here.
what scene are we on now?
Yeah.
No.
You were so far off now.
Probably like at the beginning.
Wilkie.
Of
I'm bad. I'm a horrible person to
It's
have
good.
on a stream.
I love
do
that
this all
you.
the
I
time.
love that you do that. Those are great questions all the time. Let's see. No.
Depends
I
who
think
you
they're
ask.
great. Let's say hi to our friend Juan here. What's up, Juan? Hope you guys cover Jingle All the Way soon. It's a little late now, Juan. Sorry. Christmas is in like 2 days, so maybe next year. I love Jingle All the Way.
Speaking
though.
of that comment, I was actually a little bit surprised that we did White Christmas. I actually had to do a double take. Like, wow, we're doing a really great classic movie that was 60 years ago versus a fun Arnold one. It was kind of refreshing. Like, oh, I get to watch this movie again to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking. I don't know anybody talking about White Christmas right now. Definitely not streaming it. Maybe if it's like a bunch of old ladies that are streaming, maybe they're streaming about it. Which good for them.
You got all of us here to talk about this movie. That's how good it is.
That's good.
I was going to be half joking, half mean, but it's more joking. But I was like, speaking of old ladies, I told my mom I watched this, and she's like, "Oh, why didn't you watch it with me?" And so I got in trouble. I got in trouble. I didn't go visit her and watch it with her, so because she loves it. She loves this movie. So
Come on, Corey.
That would have been a long ride for you, right? Like 2 hours or something?
it'll be a long ride. But I have a couple other Christmas ones queued up to take over to her place. So
That's good. That's a nice idea. We weren't calling you an old lady, Megan. Or Wilkie wasn't. Yeah,
definitely
I
not.
thought it was gonna be a joke. I was like, wait.
I don't
Yeah,
think you
no,
said
no.
that.
I wasn't
Oh,
going. No,
gosh.
gosh.
Okay.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Off topic, but kind of on topic. Who's prettier, Judy or Betty?
Let's pull them up. I think Betty, George Clooney's aunt.
I honestly think she is prettier too. So
Which is the one on the right?
That is Judy.
Judy.
I'm going with Judy. I think she actually died of being anorexic. That's what my wife was telling me.
Yeah,
she's
somebody
pretty-
told me her waist got like
She was-
crazy narrow.
Okay, honestly, in this movie, she's so flippin' skinny in this
She
thing.
is.
Like her waist and her legs. There's like some scenes where she's showing off a lot of the legs, and I was like, "Dang, she is skinny."
I was surprised they could show so
One
much
thing
of
I
that of her
noticed,
leg back
like,
then.
she like always covers her neck. Like I noticed that throughout the movie, and I kind of
yeah.
had to look that up. And she was like self-conscious about how
Oh.
skinny or thin her neck was. So she always.
I saw that too.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But like, look at her waist right there.
It's tiny.
She is thin.
She's tiny. Like both of them are tiny, but she's tiny.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think Rosemary Clooney.
They're both
for me.
beautiful women, though.
Sure,
I mean,
yeah.
they're both beautiful women, but it's
Judy's more likable than Rosemary Clooney, kind of. A little bit. I guess they're different. She doesn't have any
just
like
a different
bad moments
personality. It's all right.
like Rosemary does. Yeah. So I think we've covered so much already. I'm gonna kind of pass one of the chapters here. I'm kind of wondering, do you think so? Obviously, what happens is, she overhears Rosemary Clooney's character overhears this. Oh no, she doesn't overhear the maid lady of the inn. She overhears a phone call that Bing Crosby's character is having with a TV show host, and she believes that she hears that he is doing this all for the money. Like, oh, he's only interested in bringing business to the inn and having it televised for promotion. It's like perfect, right? And at the end of the day, he's taking advantage of an old veteran who's at a low point. That's what she thinks she hears. And of course, she tunes off of the call when he says, "No, I'm not interested in any of that. Don't want any publicity, blah blah blah." And she only hears the bad stuff. Unfortunately, she's got a big mouth on her, and she tells Rosemary Clooney about this. And you know what? Everything was working out so great for the two. They're really getting along. Finally, Bing Crosby, Wallace, he's found his lady. She obviously is starting to like him. And now this makes a big difference. The two are now kind of, well, not the two, but Rosemary is really sour, totally turned off, pushed away. And she divorces him from her life, not like actually divorces, but she's no longer interested, and she leaves the act. And I kind of wonder, it seems kind of obvious that his character isn't interested in selfish gain, but do you think there was a point in time in this story where the two of them were considering this to be like a profitable venture, or no?
Maybe of course they were doing it for the right reason, so it's kind of hard to tell. But I think they could have easily have made gargantuan amounts of money doing this on the road.
So I guess my question was, they were making money having people at the inn? It's just they weren't making money off of hiring everyone to come and be performers, right?
Well, yeah. So what I'm talking about is Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye's character. Like Rosemary Clooney was worried that they were using this opportunity to show like to put on this performance and use the girls and their talents to just make them look good, right? Because it's a good look, putting in all this work for their old general who's pitiful and failing. And I guess she thought that this would be televised too, for everyone to see, and I don't think she signed up for that, and that wasn't the case, clearly, because that like major performance was just for the people that were present. Well, okay, that was I think good. We all think they're great people. Great, because I was just wondering if anybody had any thoughts about that, because obviously that was a huge concern for her. That was a pivotal moment in this film, of course, for the main romance here, because this one stupid rumor really screws everything up, and it puts Wallace in a pretty sad place, because he finally, he's starting to warm up to this girl, and they shared a very passionate kiss the night before. And now, of course, they're splitting up. It's really sad. But Wallace goes out of his way to seek her out further and to right the wrongs. But, he doesn't really have any luck based on his own merits. So what he ends up doing is he ends up going on TV on this, I think it's the Ed Harris show. Yeah. This was the guy that he had the phone call with earlier, where he made it clear he was not interested in profiteering for this. He is going on TV to do a little performance just for the audience watching, right, on TV, but also to kind of send out a call to arms to all the people that were part of the battalion that the general was, a leader of, to come on down to the inn for one final token of recognition for the general who we all love. And of course, once Betty hears this, she learns that all of this was a farce. Everything, the stupid rumor was untrue. On TV, she hears this, and she breaks all her plans, her solo ventures that she tried to start up. She's like, no, thanks. I'm going back to my sister. And she goes and she returns back to Wallace's character to perform that great show that we're going to talk about later. Since you sort of brought it up earlier, Wilkie, I think I want to circle back to this, because this is a question I think everybody asks, right? Do you think all of the heartache and unnecessary turmoil could have been avoided if she just asked Wallace what the truth was right off the bat?
Well, or if he would asked, or he would ask too, either way, like to be like, hey, I feel like we're going pretty well here and something happened, like what's going on, or kind of a thing. It seemed like both of them, if they would have just talked to each other a little bit more, it probably would have it would have been a shorter movie.
I think he did try to ask her, though. He's like, what's wrong? What's wrong?
Credits.
Something seems different. Is everything okay? I mean, didn't he ask several times?
All right. Yes. But he got the, no, nothing's wrong. Well, you don't stop with that. You just can't be like, okay, she said nothing's wrong. So
she said nothing was wrong.
Sorry, Megan.
It's an accurate trope. It is an accurate trope. But yeah, I found that frustrating too. But that happens in a lot of films where the women just don't say what's on their mind, or guys don't ask, and then they part ways, and then there's this animosity. So, but yeah, I got annoyed. That was kind of one of the things I'm just thinking, why? It's so easy.
That's like the most modern element of this film is this situation here. Like, I think of, the the modern life of like romance and stories, right? There's always some misunderstanding and they're not talking. And here we go, all the way back then, 71 years ago, they still had the same problem. So it's
Crazy.
nothing new, but I see that being shared in a lot of, modern tales of romance. But yeah, I think obviously if they would have just talked about it, it could have been solved. But I don't know if there was anything he could have said in that moment to convince her otherwise. But you're right. I mean, he's 50 years old, for Pete's sakes. I think he should know how this works now. Ask again, prod a little more. I mean, you've had a lot of dating experience, man. I don't know. He was probably married at one point too. I mean, 50 is old.
Was their age ever brought up in the movie? Obviously, we know how old they were, though, but it was never a conversation like, oh, you're getting up at that age here.
No, but maybe it's like some of those like early 90s movies where they had like a 35-year-old playing a 17-year-old in high school, or something like that, where he was supposed to be younger or something. But I had a feeling that he felt older. He was a higher rank. He was like a captain over Danny's. He was like a private. So I had a feeling that they were hinting at he was older, like he'd been in the army longer or something along those lines. But no, they never went into the whole. But like again, like what Megan was saying was like Rosemary's Clooney's character was the mother hen looking after the other sister to be taken. So it was almost like they were trying to make her act like she was the older sister out of the two. But
at the end of the day, though, despite all of this drama, something I really respected about Wallace, Bing Crosby's character, is he didn't let this bring him down. He kept going. I mean, he went on TV, he did his duties, he gave a great performance, and none of this really changed anything. The show went on. And I feel like nowadays it would be so like dramatic and nothing could happen. There could be no way of getting past this. And, although this was sad, he kept going. And the mission still happened. I mean, all those people showed up in the end and they had a great performance. And, she made it better. But, the show went on. I really liked that about his character. I thought that was that's a good role model to follow, to just keep going despite, your hiccups that are, that hurt like that.
Yeah. Well, Davis didn't have to come over and console him or anything like that. I think being a general kind of also taught him, okay, this didn't work out. Let me just continue on with the plans, go straight ahead. So maybe he just always had that innate leader in him. So like, I'm not going to let this bring me down. We have a mission to finish and got to go ahead. Yeah.
Why do you guys think she didn't ask? Why not? I mean,
she was so offended, I think, by the whole notion of everything that's like, I can't possibly, because if let's just say, he's lying to her, he'll just maybe try to get his way out of it. Maybe she saw he was so virtuous and now all of a sudden it's the allure is over for him now.
But that doesn't seem like his character, though. That's what I didn't understand. That wasn't in his character to try and profit off of his commander. So it seemed like a plot hole to me. Not a plot hole, but an issue that I had.
Well, the whole movie, watching the second time over, I got a better glimpse of this, is she kind of like feared that men had an angle for everything they did, right? That there was a reason, there's a catch. Why act this way? Oh, it's because he's trying to get something. Why talk to me? Oh, because he wants to do something to me or something like that. She's convinced all men have an angle. And for once, she saw Bing Crosby, and this guy didn't have an angle. And she was impressed by that. But here we are. Once she hears this, it's like, I for once I trusted him. I let my guard down, and this is what I get. So then she closed her off. That's sort of what I was thinking.
I think they both thought so. That's where the two couples had similar personalities, and so Bing Crosby's and Rosemary Clooney's, they both felt there was angles, because I think that was like Bing Crosby's too when he found out the letter wasn't actually from the brother. He's like, oh, I got it. And he's like, no worries. Everybody's got to have an angle, kind of a thing. Like, I'm not going to hold you. But I think both of them were both standoffish and reluctant to let somebody else in. And I think they both started letting people in, the two of them. And maybe that's where she got more hurt, that she finally got to the point where she was willing to do that. And he was too, but she then learned something that she felt was a deal breaker, and that hurt her, and maybe she just shut down, and didn't talk to him about it.
Yeah.
Or not. I don't know.
Interesting points. I think it's interesting. There's a reason, right? I think there's a reason. She's not stupid. None of these characters are stupid. Isn't that nice? We have a bunch of characters.
It is refreshing.
They're not stupid. They don't act stupid. They act silly, but not stupid. And they respect themselves. They naturally respect each other as human beings. It's pretty nice. And I'm so glad that they're not like you said, Joe. So many new modern characters. They have each character has their odd quirks or their indefinable qualities that is ends up being basic because this is like what we see all the time now. That wasn't the case here. Really refreshing. But moving on, let me get another picture on here because we're getting towards the end of the story, people, towards the concluding chapters. I'll put this picture. Of course, this is one of those iconic images of White Christmas. And this is, this whole sequence, the finale is so beautiful. Really, really stunning visuals. But, eventually, once Betty learns the truth, she returns to the lodge when it was most important. The act is happening at this moment. And he surprises them. Bing Crosby, the sister, and Danny Kaye, they weren't expecting her to show up, but there she goes. She shows up right when it counts. And, I loved how I briefly referenced this earlier, how clever it was that the group set up the perfect scenario for the general to arrive in uniform to the event space. I really loved that. Of course, he doesn't have, he's got his 3 suits. They're all at the wash, and he's not going to go downstairs in his robes, like you said, Wilkie. So he has to wear his uniform. And when he comes down, that's just such a touching moment, just seeing him in his uniform. You know what I mean? He has pride in that uniform. And, earlier on in the movie, when he's disappointed by the news that his colleagues were kind of looking down on him for his leisure life, that, even though he put himself out there, he was denied. This is sort of a time where it's like, he really admires what he does. And he respects the army and he respects his men. And, this is seen forward to this next scene where he goes downstairs and he's welcomed by hundreds of dressed soldiers he had the pleasure to lead in World War II. And of course, they all come together to support him and, end up making a huge difference for the inn, of course. And we get 3 standout song and dance performances here that are used to show the appreciation. We get, Gee, I wish I was back in the army. I love that one. We get Snow and White Christmas. And I loved, my gosh, just what a great finale for the film. I loved all 3 of these songs so much. How happy, this is like such a silly question to ask, but I'm just curious. How happy were you guys to see Betty reintroduced back into the group, giving Wallace that extra bit of joy he needed?
It was great.
Yeah, it was good.
Perfect ending for it. It wasn't too over the top. It wasn't, him following her to the train station and, things like that. It was just, it worked out perfectly for everything.
It was a sweet moment.
Yeah.
I won't say it was quite a tearjerker for me personally, but it was it warmed my heart.
You did cry?
No, it wasn't. It was close to a tearjerker.
You should have cried. You should have cried, Luke.
But he does a good job in it, like doing the whole surprised kind of look, like what?
Yes.
You're here? But it keeps on going on with the show, and so, like I say, it was a sweet moment. It's a heartwarming moment.
I have a question. What did Betty put in his? Because he has that the bag, the Santa bag.
It's
what
like
did
a
she
knight
put
in
there?
shining armor. I think that's sort of what that was supposed to reflect. It's like a horse with a knight on it.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I missed something.
Because that was one thing they referenced a couple times earlier, I think, where I can't remember exactly how they said it, but like the knight on the horse, like, well, don't put me too far up on there, I could fall off, kind of a thing.
Okay.
And then I think another time he references if he could be that person again,
Gotcha.
But I think when they're in the inn before they kiss the first time, where she goes in for the midnight snack or whatever that was, I think there's a reference to, I can't remember exactly how he said it, but it was kind of along the lines of like, the higher you put me up on a pedestal, the further I have to fall, kind of a thing. And like, just, I'm not a white knight in shining armor, so you put me up on this big stallion, kind of a thing.
Okay.
I could fall off pretty easily.
Wilkie's
like
spitting right now.
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's good.
I thought they were making some references like that.
passion.
And then,
Spitting's a good thing. It's not like a bad thing.
But But yeah, but I mean, it's like any relationship. It's like you love them and you can put them up there, but the other person, you have that other feeling like, well, don't put me up there too high because I'm still a human being. And what do human beings do? We fail, we fall, we trip, we fall, kind of a thing. And just don't be surprised when that happens because,
right on.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't see that before.
No, that was a great insight.
I think the first time they mention it is that whole when the sister gets her to go to, oh, you should get something to eat, to help you go to sleep or whatever. And they have their first kiss. I think that happens there. But then I can't remember the other time, but after they get in the fight, he kind of makes a reference to like, can I be that person on the horse again for you, the White Knight kind of thing. But anyway.
That was a lot. I mean, you've only seen this once?
Yeah, today.
That's crazy. Man.
Well, I mean, it was before this, but
that's great.
Today.
You've consumed this movie.
He consumed it, man. He let it marinate. That's
I was watching it. My phone was in the other room.
Wow.
I had no other the only distraction, I had a dog scratching me that wanted me to scratch his belly. So I had a big old yellow lab that I had to scratch his belly. But other than that, sorry, that was the only that was the only distraction I had. But I was devoted to the movie after that.
Oh,
so.
Nice. And Wilkie, you mentioned it. I think Bing Crosby. This is that one moment where he just looks at her. In shock when she shows up, and she's there and she's got this bright smile and everything's happy again and they get along and they do the, one of the lyrics is like, dancing pants to pants, cheek to cheek. I thought that was like so sweet. I loved that. Such a sweet moment. That whole little collection there really, really stood out to me. Such a
Did
touching.
you cry, Jackson?
Did I cry watching this? I think I choked up a few times. Didn't cry though. I got closer than you, Luke. Sorry, this isn't Thunderbolts or Captain America. You might tear up with those. I'm just kidding. Oh gosh. Which of these final performances stood out to you guys the most that you really enjoyed? You had gee, I wish I was back in the army. You had the White Christmas in the end. And then I think Snow. I'm pretty sure they sang Snow again. Maybe I'm tripping. Did they sing Snow again, Wilkie, in the end?
I honestly don't remember now. You're like, oh, you remember this movie so well. And then I'm like, I don't know.
You just watched it.
I remember that. I wish I was back in the army and White Christmas, but there was something else in between there. I can't remember now.
It must have been Snow.
Here, hold on a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, just put it in real quick for a quick watch.
Yeah. Anyway, somebody else talk.
My favorite was OG. I wish I was back in the army. That was my favorite. That was my standout. And I love how all the men are in the background singing along. That was beautiful. And they walk him down the long aisle. As he's shaking hands. Yeah, that was beautiful.
I love that. That's a great one.
I think the same one too, though, because we never, especially on this channel, we've seen so many war movies. They are not happy at all. There's not a single happy war thing we've seen. Nothing like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool. But this one, it kind of makes you just that camaraderie and talking about the army and their time there actually favorable, and to show that after the war, they still connected. He was able to get in contact with all these people. They all dropped what they were doing to come up to Vermont to be there for this one moment, for this one general that really touched their lives, and it was just really touching to see.
Well, that experience made them family, and they're still family, brothers or sisters, whatever you want to, But that experience of the war, it made them family. And so but when he said, don't worry, I know it's a tough thing to be able to come up here. And I know it's just a movie, but how many of them were there, with their families too? Because it seemed like after they got done and some of them went down to their tables, they were hugging like a wife or a kid or, something like that. So that was something that they really pulled together to support each other. So.
Joe, you make such a great point. There aren't like any war movies that are like positive, like ever, right? Yeah. They're not really positive, especially like soldiers being positive and happy. And that's nice to see here. And I mean, I don't know how accurate it would be like in real life, but it was nice to see. I liked seeing that, the positivity in the wake of, their rough experience before and coming together to honor their leader at this later time. They were all very joyous, and obviously they're all very different people. You know, you had the one guy who was pretty fat; he could barely fit in his suit anymore. So I mean, you know, reasonable.
I think it shrunk, and he's like, I think your appetite didn't shrink or something. I was like, wow, you didn't hold any punches back on that one,
fat
did
jokes,
you?
fat jokes, people.
Yeah, it's like,
nope, not pulling any punches. No more fat jokes though. I guess. Sorry. They are fair for the stream if you really need to tell them, just so you know. Also, you know, I think towards the end, I have this picture here, and this is such a great picture. You know, the general. First off, look at how good that looks. Look at this. This is an old movie. This is 71 years old, people. Look at how clear that is. That's such a great shot. And so crisp. It's just like, it's unbelievable they were able to do this. Really don't know how. It's really inexplicable to me. I'm wondering if it's like, was this shot in that 70 millimeter? Because I'm pretty sure Lawrence of Arabia was back then, and that's why it still looks great to this day.
I don't know,
maybe that's why.
But I don't know. I know that I watched the 4K restoration of that today, and I was blown away. Like I said, I was lucky enough. Black Friday deal, got a newer TV, and so it's anyway. Everything coming together, I was like, man, the colors were popping. It looked super sharp. It looked beautiful. But I think they can do that a lot of times, whether it was 70 millimeter or not. But when it's shot on real, actual film, they can do a lot of great restoration with it, and you'll still get some of that grain, which is, I think, cool to me. It gives that feel that it was shot on film, but they can do some. It's crazy how good they are at taking that old film stock and getting it looking like it is.
When you see the film grain, is that more convincing that you're watching it like a real movie than like the clear crystal image that we have now?
I'll let somebody else talk. I feel like I'm talking a lot. So.
No, you're good. You're answering questions. No, that's good.
So, somebody else talk first. I'm talking too much.
Shoot it one more time.
Your question.
So, like, you know, when you see like grainy film like this, well, not even grainy, but there's like, you know, there's like a texture to it. Does that feel more legitimate as this is a movie than what we get now with like crystal clear picture?
Yes. And I don't know how to answer this at all, but I was just thinking the other day, like, okay, you know, animations, does the story matter better or the visuals? But something just about these old movies where it does have that little imperfection of the graininess of it, it just stands out better. And somehow it just looks better than the things we have today for some odd reason. I don't know how to explain it, but looking at this shot right here, this looks better than a lot of things we're seeing today. And it looks more real, and more effort was put into this one shot than most things we've seen going on today in theaters.
That might just come down to like the quality of filmmaking back then, right? Or like, you know, the respect for the art compared to more modern times.
I was just on a stream talking about movies that we've seen all year, and people were just, you know, going over their top 10, and I don't remember any of the movies that they mentioned. Like, did any of these things come out? Some Jennifer Lawrence postpartum depression was like, are these things in trailers? So back then, I guess when a movie came out, there weren't that many coming out. So I guess they were all just bangers back then because there was just not one after another, but 1,000 streaming services.
Nobody.
Cam, I want you to answer. Cam, I'm calling you out. Cam, I want you to answer this one. I want to know your opinion about this one. I'm calling you out on it. And then Megan, you're after that, so get ready.
Dang.
Yeah, I know.
I personally like seeing the film grain on an old movie. It just like immerses. I don't know if immerse is the right word, but like I just know I'm watching a good like classic old movie just when I see that grain. But yeah, when I see like crystal clear of like more modern movies, I don't know, it kind of like takes me out of it a bit. So I'm like, this is just too fake. Like nothing in real life is this, like this crisp. I like seeing the kind of the grit of
it's an aesthetic, right?
Yeah.
we all want vintage again, right? We always hearken to vintage. You know, you want your antiques, you want your VHS tapes. I have here 4 White Christmases on VHS. They're gonna be gifts. They're gonna be gifts
in case he wants to watch it again.
This one's sealed. There you go.
I mean, it's kind of the same way. Like I've always just only listened to like 80s music and like classic rock because there's just something about the way classic music just sound. Like I don't listen to any like Doja Cat or whoever. Like
you're missing.
I barely know any modern artists today because I stick to my AC/DC and Journey and Foreigner because it just there's something about the way 80s music sounds that's just so fun to listen to. It's kind of the same with like old movies.
Yeah.
To that point, though, I saw a meme. It was Beyonce next to Freddie Mercury, and it showed Beyonce's lyrics of "Girls Rule the World." It was just "Girls Rule the World," just repeated, and it said like, "Oh, written by 12 people." And then Freddie Mercury's Bohemian Rhapsody is like written by one dude with a mustache. Like there's so much more talent that went into that one thing than this other one.
12 people, the committee.
No, I think there's not a right or wrong answer with these. It's just always interesting to hear people's opinions. That's why now, Megan, you are on the spotlight right now to tell us your opinion.
Oh no, I'm having technical difficulties.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't start getting into older classical movies until a couple years ago. But yeah, I watched The Sound of Music with my husband and then watching Singing in the Rain, which was amazing. I kind of grew up more so on the Disney, a lot of the cartoon Disney films. And then talking to my husband, he's watched, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Captain Courageous, like so many of the classics. I'm like, wait, these are Disney movies? Live action? What? So yeah, got to watch a lot of those. The Grain in there, yeah, and Shirley Temple is a big one as well. Watching a couple of hers. I don't feel like The Grain is an indication because you can do faux grain. I think, isn't it Quentin Tarantino does that?
There's been a few that they've introduced that, yeah, like you said, faux grain.
I like that. It's going.
It's digitally shot, but then they put the look into it. It's like a filter, like basically. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
I mean, you kind of know, but I mean, it does kind of give you a little bit of a sense of it, nostalgia. But I don't think specifically that it's bad. I think it's better because it has more heart in the older films, for sure. Not so much any specific look to it. Mainly just the charm, the heart that's in it. The acting's really, really good. And yeah, anything like I love the term dame, damsel, like that. It's just give me all of that.
Terminology. Well, Shirley Temple, was that black and white?
Yeah.
Some of it was.
Yeah. I was gonna say the ones I saw in it. There might have been color, but yeah. But
did you grow up with Shirley Temple, Wilkie? Like when she was like, performing?
I'm old.
Jeez, Jackson.
I'm just kidding.
Not holding punches.
Yeah. So by the way, I saw White Christmas in the theater when it came out.
Yeah. You were 20 years old.
Yeah. I took my first date on to that movie. It was magical time.
It cost a nickel.
It cost a nickel. I took my dame to the movie.
There you go.
But the one thing I did laugh about, now that you say dame, how both of the guys kept on calling the women kids. Like, oh, kid.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they always called them kid. And I'm like, okay, that seems kind of weird if that's the person you're kind of dating or like wanting to, or pursuing or whatever. And keep on like, oh, that's fun, kid. Or, like I just heard a lot of kid references to them. And I thought that was different.
I see our friend Jimmy, Scottish Geek Guy, is here. Jimmy, tell us what you think about White Christmas. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I see you're saying some stuff in the chat. Let's see what all you guys have to say real quick. Kyle, he butts in with a great reminder. I totally forgot about this one. It's a classic. It's a great one. Count Your Blessings Instead of Sheep. Of course, I love that song. Was the standout song to me. Short but memorable, thematic. Was Oscar nominated for Best Song. Oh, cool. That's a great one. I think that flew under all our radars, didn't it?
I don't know why. I don't remember that one. I honestly will have to go back and watch that one. But it's funny how. Oh, go ahead.
That's the one where she's trying to fall asleep. So she goes and he tells her what food before going to bed is the best.
That's what
one.
I was.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep
No,
talking.
no. That's it. No, I interrupted you.
When we started saying that, that's the part I went back to start thinking about. I thought that was hilarious. The whole like what sandwich or what meat or whatever to eat and what kind of dream you would have. And he was talking about dreaming about other types of women. Almost like, wasn't it like he was like, oh, if it's like this, I'll dream about this or whatever. And if I have liverwurst, don't ask about that, or whatever. It was anyway.
You're right.
I thought that was a funny.
Let's see. Oh yeah. So Scottish Geek Guy is also talking about film grain. In my day job, I'll add film grain to digital video. Depending on the project, it's subtle, but the look and result can be great. Can make a modern video look like an analog nostalgic video. Ooh, that's cool.
He's in the business.
Yeah,
he
for
does
real.
a lot of that stuff. Yeah.
Man, I
Biz.
really want him
Biz.
back on.
The
It's
biz.
really hard
He's
getting
a great
him on
guy,
because he, Scotland
Cool guy.
or wherever he is, and here
Scotland.
it's-
Yeah.
yeah,
Scotland.
totally different, two different worlds. But yeah, it was fun having you on. Jeez, that was a while ago. Predator.
I was gonna say I hung out with
5
him a
or
lot.
6 episodes.
I always like joke that I say like, oh, just the other day. I always say that, like, so I'll be like, oh yeah, I hung out with Jimmy just the other day on my channel, and it'll be like it was probably a year and a half ago or something like that. But
That's
the
crazy.
time blurs. But
That's
yeah,
a great.
he's saying 3 a.m. right there.
That's
for
a
him
great
now.
stream, everybody. Jump on
3
Wilkie's channel. I
a.m.
think that's his best interview he's had. Is with these two. I
Right
really
up
like that
there
one.
with some dude named Brawler, right?
Yeah, there you go. That's second best. no, that's funny.
No, he was,
that was a
Jimmy.
really good one.
Jimmy's a very nice guy, and he was cool to hang out with. And I know you got the pleasure to hang out with him too. But yeah, he's saying 3 a.m. for him right
That's
now.
crazy.
So thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit there, bud.
Yeah. He also says, I've only seen White Christmas once. Not huge fan of the old movies.
That's all right.
That's all right. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what our friend Profile says. Good to see you, man. I used to watch Annie on a regular basis growing up. Shirley Temple was pretty great, though I'm not a big fan of child acting in general. Yeah, I mean, there's been some great child actors, though. There's not like, I mean, you have the little like ballet kids here, but they don't do anything. Yeah, no kids in this one.
Besides
They didn't do
ballerina
anything.
acts, and, like
They
twisting
don't do any like
around.
an acting performance, like acting.
Their classical dancing was nothing. We're not. Look at the one in the
Garbage.
middle. She's on her tiptoes and the
Oh my
cross-legged and everything.
gosh.
Like I would break my
Yes, it's
knees if
great.
I tried to
It's
do
great.
that.
Thumbs up. Brawler recommends. There you go. Thumbs up.
Brawler hates kid actors,
Brawler
especially
hates
dancers.
children. Nice. No. Oh gosh. Nice. Well, Miracle on 34th Street, that had some great child actors. That little girl, the main little girl in that was awesome.
I know this is really odd for me to go off tangent a little bit, but another kid actor recently, I got to watch Dust Bunny with oh gosh, now I'm blanking on his name.
Quick.
Jake Lloyd. He wasn't that bad. He was good in Jingle All the Way.
No, oh gosh, why am I Madsen,
Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen. Thank
Oh,
you.
what?
Jeez, oh Pete. I can't believe but anyway, he's in that one. I
How was
really
that
like him. Dust Bunny's really good, but the girl in that, I thought she did a great job. So that was a really good child actor role. I would say.
One actually in the movie Hamnet that came out recently. There's a child actor in that who
Oh
he
yeah,
honestly gave one of the best child performances I've seen.
he was good.
I haven't seen that
great.
one.
The movie was
It's a good
Duke and it
movie.
was Dog. Sorry. Man, that was a hard watch for me, bro. I tried. I wanted to.
it was.
I went in.
It
I
wasn't.
wanted to cry, Cam. I wanted to go in and cry, and nothing. No tears. No. Did you cry?
I did not. I don't normally cry at movies. I don't know if that makes me sound like a bad
It's
person,
sensitive
but
material. That's the only reason why
I've come
asked.
close, but never all the
Uh-huh.
way.
No.
But yeah,
All
no,
right.
that movie was strange because I didn't really know how I felt about it. Like the first half of the movie was kind of weird. Like I didn't know what was going on really, but like the end, like that last little bit, like it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're right. That little Hamlet was great. He did a good job.
Yeah, that kid was good.
The whole movie was a little too over the top for me.
Yeah,
but,
like
obviously that's what they're going for. Oof. No thanks. I respected the commitment to that, I guess, but no. Wilkie, you got a party going on in there? Dance party?
No.
Where was my invite?
I'm muting it because apparently everybody else came home and they decided they wanted to like talk at shouting levels and not indoor voice levels. So I put the mute on. I apologize.
No, you're cool. You're cool.
Because I heard my daughter go like, "Oh my gosh!" And I'm like, "Oh my god, yeah, mute. Where's the mute
being
button?"
a dork again?
Yeah, is Dad on the internet with his internet friends? Yeah, I usually get crap about that.
YouTube.
It's kind of funny because I don't think they really watch it too much, but they'll tease me about it a little bit, and then like, "Oh, you're YouTube famous," and I'm like no, I am on YouTube, but and then there's been a couple times that I've done meetups with people that I've met in YouTube, and it's usually funny. My older son, he's not 22. He'll give me a hard time. He'll send me text and he'd be like, "Blink twice if you need help," or like things like that. Have you been catfished, or or like something like that? I'm like, no, I'm good. And like, but anyway, it's kind of funny though how I say not to talk to people when they were growing up. Like, don't talk to people on the internet, and then all of a sudden I'm talking to people on the internet and meeting up with them and going and buying movies with them and stuff. So. Yeah, I'm probably a little bit of a hypocrite, but they're older now and they can make their own decisions.
Following. It's always fun going on your lives because you always have great chat and everything. I appreciate that. Yeah, highly.
You got a good group hanging out tonight, man.
I know. I like everybody. Thank you all for joining us.
I was going to say you've had a strong chat going.
Let's reward our valued members with a little Christmas present for Box Office Brawler, and that is 5 free memberships. Ooh. Let's see who's going to get it. I think I could do all 5. Send 5 now.
Yeah, you get 10 a month when that opens up for you.
Let's see who gets it.
All right, here we go. Right. Jimmy got one. Scottish Sheet Guy got one. There you go.
Let's see. So the 5 lucky winners: Jimmy, Scottish Geek Guy. Congratulations. Otam 8566. Hey, I think you've been in the chat before. Good seeing you, Otam. Piranha Pout, thanks Piranha. Sly Jester got one too, well earned. And T Parker Evans, hey, I know you too, T Parker, thanks for joining us. Sweet, awesome. Yeah, we appreciate you very much, and you can check out all my nerdy videos I make. I just did a new one. Ever since I was young, I've always curated a really nerdy Christmas tree, and every year I add new nerdy ornaments. So it's definitely for a guy. It's a guy Christmas tree. My whole place is a real bachelor pad, as I've been told many times. So yeah, same for the Christmas tree. So you can check out that new video. I appreciate everyone's support. If you're interested, join the band of brawlers. It'd be great to have you on there.
Do it.
Yes, Wilkie's a valued member. Much appreciated. And Luke. So thank you both.
You know what I think is really funny was when couples have 2 Christmas trees. There's the Christmas tree, and then there's the one that the one person that has some odd collection gets to decorate.
Yes,
so it's not necessarily the man. I know both where it goes either way, the man or the woman in the relationship. But it's kind of funny how this is the main one that's in the living room or whatever, but then you can have this smaller one where you can put your collections of other things on.
You need to do that. It's more fun that way. Megan, do you have a tree like that in your house?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
not yet.
You dictate the tree.
Yes, I would. It would be all classic.
Yeah. Does Kyle have any cool ornaments?
We don't have any cool ornaments just yet. We could call it like a Christmas snake plant.
Oh,
that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
It's a snake plant?
It's a snake plant.
I've never heard of that.
It's supposed to purify the air. It's pretty cool. But yeah, no Christmas tree yet. It's always taking up too much space, and then what do you do with it afterwards? And then if you have a fake one, then you have to store it. It's a pain in the butt.
What about
you guys? What about you guys?
My tree was up the first day of November.
Good, Joe. Yeah. As it should be.
We're usually the weekend after Thanksgiving. It starts going. We hit Thanksgiving, and somewhere from that Friday to that weekend, we get it out there. What'd you call me?
late bloomer.
late bloomer. Oh, I thought you called me a boomer at first. I was like,
Boomer. and that one.
I'll take late bloomer. That's fine. I'll take that.
I'm not that disrespectful.
Well, we got our trees started getting too full because we did a lot of traveling with our kids when they were growing up, and so when we'd go to places, we would buy a Christmas ornament, and they would each get to pick one out, and then Tammy and I would pick one out for us. So then we'd have all of those. So eventually, we couldn't have all of them on the tree, and so but eventually we did a little note on each one of them, who it was, what year it was, kind of a thing. And so if they ever want them, they can have them and use them for their tree. But it's kind of fun to go when we take the tree out to go back through and be like, oh yeah, you remember when we went to Yellowstone Park, or, you know, this or that, or, so that was kind of like, I don't know how it got started,
cool.
but we just started doing that. But
that's fun. It's a fun tradition. Traditions are great, you know. That's like Christmas. It's like, that's where all the traditions, like everybody's got some sort of Christmas tradition.
Yeah.
I don't know what ours is. Mine has been the nerdy Christmas tree. I've always gotten cool nerdy ornaments. You know, I got Legolas over there. I got the Cantina band. I have what do I got? Adventure Time, Bad Batch, Captain America, all kinds of stuff. Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it's fun.
I sneak some nerdy ones onto our tree every once in a while.
Good.
But,
You sneak them on.
I sneak them on there, but
Like the Grinch.
But we with yeah, exactly. But with our kids being older, like now, and we just doing the trips and stuff that we did, it ended up where we couldn't. Yeah, we can't put them all on there now and at the same time. So now we're getting to the old person phase of like, we're gonna have to start separating everything out and like, here you go, take all your ornaments, get it out of our house, you know, and we'll see
Now
if they
you
actually want them or not.
Like porcelain Christmas characters to put around your house.
There you go.
That'd be good.
Actually, I wanted to buy some Lego sets that were Christmas sets and like put those together. And
They have
put
some
them up,
cool
but-
ones.
I know, right?
Santa's sleigh. They're not cheap.
No, Lego's not cheap.
Oh.
They're fun,
Real
but
quick.
they're not cheap.
Let's see. Miss with a hiss. Humanity has lost so much over the past few decades. Don't discard old storytelling in a thoughtless way, as they contain precious details. Exactly. Also, I liked what Jimmy said here. Where is it? My kids refer to my YouTube stuff as cringe. Come on, you're not cringe, bro.
Jimmy, I get that too. Don't worry.
Oh, that's so lame. It's not cringe at all. It's cool.
We get poked about it. Or I get poked about it a little bit.
I loved his Predator video. He opens with him with the Predator mask. I loved that. And the video did great. I saw it did great. Good job. Good job, Jimmy. And congratulations to Kyle, too. Seeing how well his Supergirl videos did. I liked checking on that. That was cool. Now he knows. Look what works, you know. Maybe keep it going. Hopefully it didn't take too much time to make. But yeah, that was cool. Let's see.
With the cringe thing, that's what I can't wait to like get done and go out and then tell my daughter that everybody could hear her just screaming and like overreacting about things. And so
she's
be like,
embarrassing herself.
Be like, you know, they were asking if I had a party because some girl was screaming in the background. And like, yeah, so
nice. Here we go. Scottish Geek Guy. I try and keep the family from making it a Christmas fest until December 1st. But I usually lose that fight, and the decorations slowly appear soon after Halloween, as it should be, Jimmy, as it should be. Oh, I like what he also says here. Our Christmas tradition is going to buy a real tree, squeezing in the car, and the kids give the tree a name each year. That's cute. Nice.
Cute.
growing up, we used to have two trees. My brother was allergic to real ones, but my mom absolutely loved real trees. So there was a fake tree in the house, but then we called it the bunk house. It was next to us where my dad had like an office and there was kind of a living room thing, but it was a separate building and the real one went up there. So he just would avoid that building for
How much do real Christmas trees cost?
Oh, it depends where you live. Yeah. I mean, we have some friends that they're farmers, but they were kind of retiring and getting out of like crop farming, and they started doing Christmas trees, and they can't keep up with it. They have to hire help now because they have people lined up, and they even ship some trees in because they can't grow enough. But they're in an area that used to be pretty rural. That now from the city, a lot of people have started building homes and coming out their way. So I would hope that they raise their prices over the years, but yeah, it probably just depends where you live. But
yeah, Jimmy's saying here it's like 40 to 80 euros, depending on the size. Wow. Wait, yeah, it's euros. Good. Nice. I don't know other currency, man.
It'd be more. It'd be higher for us.
Or pounds. It's not. Wait, it's
That's
pounds.
pounds,
Right?
that's pounds.
Euros. What even is euros?
That's the European Union,
Oh, okay. Okay. So
but
it's pounds.
but
Okay.
UK is still pounds.
Okay, my bad. Okay, got it.
Come on, geography and social
know,
studies or
man.
whatever you want to call it.
I know. I replaced that knowledge with cinema history. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yo, gosh, he's upset. Not euros. Don't
Say
hurt
like,
me.
no, we are
Don't
not
hurt
in the
me.
European Union.
Oh, I didn't realize this. Miss with a Hiss is from England. Keep it going, regardless of beliefs. Merry Christmas from England. Very nice.
Aw.
Cool. Well, everybody, I think that pretty much wraps it up for us. I think we all recommend White Christmas. Is it true, people?
Absolutely.
All recommend. Thumbs up.
Oh, it's a classic. Yeah,
2 thumbs up. I'm
It's
giving it a thumbs up.
it's a feel good movie. Yeah.
Ask Kyle if it's a thumbs up.
He's not in here, but I think we both would say it's a thumbs up, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's like 100% classic, great movie. There's some plot holes for me.
Oh, man.
Okay, so my question for you guys though.
Oh.
So Wallace and Davis have the money to pay for what is like a burnt carpet that is
Yeah, it's like $200.
$200.
Yeah,
And
which
it
is
was-
probably a lot like compared to now. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah, and so his way of getting around that was, no, we're gonna sneak you out and you're gonna hop on a train. And so for me at that point, I'm like, oh wow, this just feels like an I Love Lucy episode where it just doesn't. It's just
how can we make it
craziness
worse?
ensues. Yeah.
How can we make it? Because Bing Crosby, even at one point, he's like, "Why don't we just pay the $200?"
Yeah.
He says that, and he's like, "Well, no, we can't like give in to that, kind of a thing." But but no, I agree. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, like he was like, "Why don't we just pay the money?" No. We'll let them escape. We'll give them our tickets, and then we'll try to distract the sheriff. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good point. Well, I don't know. That's part of the fun, Megan. Not everything's perfect.
just more
This isn't a
fun, though.
perfect Christmas story.
I didn't say it was perfect. I said it was good.
yeah,
Are you sure it's not perfect? Are you absolutely sure?
Yes.
Oh, man. All right.
oh, there you go,
great.
Kyle. Just
I know. I
Yeah,
saw. I
yeah.
don't
I
want
was
to
gonna
end
say-
on a negative note. I don't want to end
that's
on a
not
negative
negative.
note.
That's not negative.
We
I
did
would
one
honestly say
thumbs
that's
There
up.
are
not
other
negative.
Christmas There are other Christmas films I would recommend over that.
Yeah,
Die
but
Hard.
that's not negative.
Die
So it
Hard,
does, he's not saying he hates it. He's just saying there's other ones he'd recommend over that. So it's not negative.
All right. Well,
It's just you're just being truthful. Yeah, there's other ones you'd. But honestly, would this be the first Christmas movie you go to?
Yes.
yes.
What?
Yes.
Oh,
Let's
shut
go.
up.
Yes, it is
No,
now.
come
It is
on.
now.
I'm
It
gonna
is
call
now.
you out on that one. I'm gonna
not-
call you out
I'm
on
not
that
talking
one.
out. No, man, for real.
You know
You're
what,
gonna
Kyle,
be.
this-
It's a new classic.
No,
New
It's the
classic
best
for me,
movie
man.
ever made.
Yes, it's number one.
I'm
Doesn't matter if it's Christmas
I
or
was
not.
wait. I'm waiting to
everything.
see Brawler. I'm waiting for you to be pulling out like Jingle All the Way first or something like that.
That is a
or-
good comfort.
all right.
Yeah.
See, look.
No, hey, I didn't
You're
say
already
no.
questioning yourself.
I did. I said it's a good comfort. I didn't say nothing else.
Anyway, it's a classic. It's and the music in there. Like I said, there's no way, even if you haven't seen the movie, I'd be so surprised if somebody's never heard, that the White Christmas song.
How does the song go again, Wilkie?
Come on.
I'm dreaming of a. What? No, where's the super chats?
That
Where's the
wasn't
super
too bad.
chats? Where's the super chat? No, I was kidding.
$20 supers, people.
Yeah.
$20. You'll sing.
Yeah, I'll keep singing for every dollar that you give.
I would drop you a $20 super chat if you sang a whole.
Oh,
song.
stop it! No, I'd give it
No?
back to you. I'd
Oh.
drop you back. No,
Okay.
because that'd be a waste of $20 for you.
Oh, no one.
I'll send you a voice message sometime. You'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's why I shouldn't pay for that."
Oh, that's
But,
good.
but
All
anyway,
right.
it was a fun watch. I'm glad. I can't believe it was this long for me to get around to watching it.
Good.
So
Good. Hey, we all did it. We're here. We appreciate you viewers for watching. Please make sure to check out everybody. Their links are in the description below. Everybody, great panel of talent. Appreciate you all joining us here. Cam, Wilkie, Megan, first appearance. Welcome. Good to have you on. You did a great job. Definitely
Thank you for
great to have
inviting
you
me.
on again sometime soon.
thanks for putting up with us.
And yes, she's new, so be sure to check out her channel.
It was really
Brand
hard.
new. So yeah, I know we're terrible. And World War Joe, of course, always a pleasure having you on, buddy. But that's it for us. That's it. And we're going to part with you with these wonderful messages. Have a Merry Christmas. Give them the Duke and give them the dog. Adios.
Merry Christmas.
What kind of person are you? Are you the kind that sees signs, sees miracles? Or do you believe that people just get lucky?
All right.